what's up? YouTube, what's up? People, what's up? I'm with the boys today.
Yo.
A little bit of introduction.
Yeah. This is DJ Konga, Biggie. Catch me live next month. I'll be doing my mixtape, DJ Konga 97. Yep.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Buying.
And this is Alvin from India.
Alvin, who were with him yesterday? And
here is the havoc, the new West entry out of all these people. He's here to cause havoc for everyone. He doesn't even give a fuck. Come here, I'm here to cause some new threats.
So
to expose the new truth.
So I'll cut the introduction short for a little bit. We did a video. We got a lot of reaction. What's your feeling about it?
Whoa, the comment section.
We're in the Predatory section, yeah?
Yeah, the comment section.
It was great. It was popping.
Ooh, it was on fire.
It was all popping. It was popping. It was popping. That's the whole. You can imagine if our comment section was popping, and the whole story, it's very sad actually, but it just shows you the kind of attention this guy, the clout this guy's gotten himself into. It's serious. It's like top notch. Like, I don't know what he thought in his mind. I don't think he thought that it would go that wild. Even himself will confess. I'll be playing the video. So right now he's no longer in hiding. As you said last week, we say last time it's 2 days, 1 day ago. We say that he's hiding, but apparently he's not hiding. And you know the sad part about it?
Yeah, what?
He keeps on doing the same thing that he did.
Same type shit.
The same type shit. Yeah. And right now, he said that, or people say that he came with about $5,000 to Kenya. Okay, that's a good money. Could last him about 5 months.
Okay.
If he stays with about $1,000, $1,000, let's say probably, in a month, he uses $1,000 because he's staying in the house.
But like you say, he seems like a big baller. So
he ain't big baller. He ain't big baller. He actually got he was fundraising these funds from the internet. People just cash him up. And and right now he's asking for another fundraising so that he could come back to America. So he's in a tight situation.
I saw the comment saying he was saying broke ass niggas. Like, yeah, bro, now who's broke now? We've been there and stayed there,
Now I feel like we should name you broke players, man.
Yeah, but like the guy is now he's now in the blow, like he's now visible to everyone. Yeah.
So he's still in Nairobi actually at the moment, and actually he's even doing more. You remember the video we played where he was cussing out women? Now, I think the light went out.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So you remember the video that he did, and he was cussing out women? So apparently, now he's into the women. Now he's into the women. Now he sees the light. So I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same way I feel.
Yeah.
I think like he was catfished by the people who was linking up to Nairobi with him. And probably that would be they're saying that would be Austin Holman. He's an American too.
Okay.
He lives in Kenya. And his friends, Kid Greatness. So it seems like they advertised that too much to him. And him being with that weird behavior we saw. Came with high expectations, but those high expectations flopped on him.
But with less money again.
Most definitely. So I don't know in what essence that he thought that women from maybe developing countries would be around waiting for him to hug him, to do things that
you thought he was a celebrity.
Not
everyone knows you, my guy.
Yeah. So apparently, after that disappointment with that woman, so the thing is that now I'm discovering he was just disappointed because of that turnout. Like how your first interaction flows into your reality of tomorrow. So apparently that's what he got himself into. and he got mad about the situation. But as he stays, he realizes, oh, there's something different about these women. There's the more of the women, the way they handle you, they take care of you
more than what he thought.
Yeah. So he's now in the divide now. Even in one of the videos that we'll be listening today from Razor, when he actually came on the interview with the Razor. It was yesterday, and you could find him getting a place where he couldn't actually say, it's either good or work, So he's actually in a very tight situation. He actually doesn't know where to stand in, So that's why he is. And he's been doing the most. He's been doing the most. He ended up catching up with another woman for $30. He got a good clapping. He talked about it. We will listen to it. You give your own opinion. But
of course,
I will play a video. We will not play it on the on YouTube because of copyright issues. So what we'll do, we just play the video. You listen, and then there's a part the women will be saying something against him, but it's all said in Swahili. So I will translate for you.
Okay.
And in that place, you will get to know how the women feel about him.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's up in the line.
Come sit down.
Man, not live, nigga.
In the live.
So the women are telling him. So the women are telling him to end the live. So the women don't want to be seen on the live. And this is his mistake. He has to catch that for his audience. But the women don't want that.
Was he in the room with the girls?
Yeah, he's in the room with the girls.
I think he was trying to flex here, bro.
Yeah, he's trying to flex. And then listen how idiomatic he sounds.
Play with that motherfucker.
End the live.
You gonna let me play with it? If I end it, you gonna let me play with that tonight?
We reach.
If I end the live?
End the live.
In the live? And I can play with it?
You Tony Palo.
I'm trying to hit you raw tonight, man.
What did that girl say? I was because I only had the F word.
Yeah, he said he wanna hit the if he ends the life, he's gonna hit it wrong.
But the girl said something.
I didn't hear it. We have to go back a little.
We reach.
If I end the live?
End the live.
In the live? And I can play with it?
You Tony Palo.
I'm trying to hit you raw tonight, man.
No, I think the girls also been trolled. Because it seems they were also streaming. So the girl is also being trolled on the stream.
Okay.
The chat section was streaming. I was trolling on the girls. Yeah.
All right, can I hit you? If I end the live, can I hit you raw and give you whatever I got?
What is that?
If I end the live, will you have my first son ever?
Rello is very, very crazy.
For you,
Just a crazy man.
Hey.
Trixie, if I end the live?
No, how can you say you picked me from the street?
I was just playing. I'm just playing.
But you can't just say that.
Where the let me put the top.
Baby, can you end this live, baby?
What you gonna do?
No.
What you gonna do? If I end the live, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna.
You gonna do what? Tell me.
Yeah.
Come and tell me. You gonna put it in your mouth?
Oh.
Unajua mwanaume ni crazy.
This man is crazy. Listen to what he's saying. That's the Swahili part the lady is speaking about. Listen to what he's saying.
You
gonna let me put it in? If I end the live,
and this is the thing that the women normally say, looking cheap.
There's no morality.
The lady points out that this is what women will say, this is being cheap. So they're actually not into what he's doing.
They're not entertaining.
Let me put it in your throat and swallow.
Whoever is from.
Yeah.
They're not even entertaining what he's saying, huh?
Yeah, so that's basically the part where he speaks about it.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Rello.
And this actually was captured by a Kenyan who has actually been finding where he stays. It's called OTC Champion. OTC Champion has been. Shout out to you, OTC Champion.
Shout out.
OTC Champion has been trying to trace him, and apparently he knows where he stays.
So
that's the crazy part. they traced him down. And I think for at this time he needs to be very careful because now people know his address. He just needs to mess a little bit, and it will be a done case.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, but they should pull him out. They should pull him out.
You know, the thing is, until the women press charges, you know, people are getting confused. Like, what are the police doing? You know, like if it was America, that would be a response, an immediate response. But in Kenya, the police will see, but they can't do anything because they say the complainant does not come to them.
Oh, so that's
the way the problem of the system lies, and that is where this passport was saying we need to get to Kenya because it seems to be the law is a little bit relaxed. It's not relaxed. It's only that the law works differently.
Okay.
Until the person who has been aggravated on the mistake presses charges on you, then you'll be arrested.
So now they can't do anything just because the
could
complaint was not filed.
They could also with the like now we are doing online approach. So with the online approach could escalate this issue for the police to have to arrest him for his safety either, or also just for the investigation part of it.
Okay.
Or what could have happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good that now they located him and he's now also.
Oh, it's a very risky thing because the moment that people have already known where you stay, and even if you move now, they'll be. You know, the thing is in Kenya, it's very close knit. You know, even the person you're renting the house may not be accepting what you're doing. So, you know, he might sparse out your information where you are located. So he's actually in the country fixed. He doesn't know how to get out of it. He needs fundraising. Yeah. And he called us
bro. Now who's broke?
Yes, Kobe Tembo. General will leave Kenya and scratch. I swear. Yeah, definitely. That for sure could happen, Kobe. I actually can attest to that. It could actually leave Kenya and scratch because if no one presses charges, that's it. And even if anything happens, we're not that uncultured people. That's another thing people have to know, that we're not really very uncultured. It only gets ugly if he continues to, you know, play the negative thing and people get it into their minds, then that will turn ugly. So that was from OTC Champion. He's a Kenyan.
Okay.
He's the one who's been tracing him down, and he's serious on this thing. Just as we are doing.
Yeah.
He's really serious on it.
Shout out.
Yesterday, he joined Reza. Reza is another, I don't know if he's a passport bro, but Reza is another person who do also travel, you know, basically goes to other countries too. And he's actually planning to go to Kenya. Okay. So Rello has been trying to tell him on the internet, you know, like Kenya isn't Kenya ain't it. Kenya ain't it. You know, like you don't need to come here. Or if you come, just come, but don't put your expectations that high. It's not that serious. So
he came with the higher expectations.
Oh, he was rocked up. I wish I'd shown you the video prior this as the makeup video of when he was actually being hooked into Kenya by, you know, Kid Greatness. He's American too. He lives in Kenya basically. He's living in Kenya for almost a year and a half. Okay. So he was actually, you could see him getting disturbed. He was like, "Oh, my guys, we need to raise funds for Kenya." And when he came, I think, I don't know, maybe he had created a scene, and that scene never worked out, and it pissed him off.
A scenario.
Yeah, and you know, basically, the thing is that we are not, you know, our culture back in Africa, we are not that loose, or women are still in a family way, you know. You go to a woman, you take her out, not even taking her out, but you just use the normal dating. And it's a win to get married. It's not a win for bad situations. If you're doing a bad situation, you'll be with a prostitute, yes? And that's basically where he has been hanging around, next to the club, picking women from the club.
So he thought like Kenyan women are cheap to get.
And also thinking that they are bodies that they will be in for a night standout, and that's it. The only people who could do that are people who
the people who
the
said
prostitutes,
it.
the ladies of the night, yes. Those are the only ones who will actually accept that. But for him, I don't think he knew that. He came in without very much information about what is happening. So yeah, basically that's how he flopped. That's how he crashed.
He didn't do his research quite nicely.
Because he depended on other YouTubers who are just giving their own experience.
Yeah, it's different. You know, internet sometimes it lies to us.
But also women were complaining. They're like, yeah, the guys who told you about Kenya are having it because they're good looking. You are not good looking. Oh, man, you know, like even Americans are getting shocked. Like Kenyans could troll that much. Yeah, so that was that video. Let's get into the comments. There's some people writing also. Oh, okay. Oh, the Tembo is Kenyan. I'm Kenyan too. Okay, we have information of the whole family and every of their numbers, and we have reached out to every platform he's using. Oh, all right. Yeah, you see now, Tembo is actually saying that they got a lot of information on him.
Maybe Tembo can share us some of the information. You know,
I was watching. Okay, I think it's a repetition of the comment. We reach out to all U.S. law enforcement to chase it around here. So okay, actually now, so according to Tembo, is it Kobe? Kobe said that they've already notified the government back in the States on his wrongdoings, which also could be. You know, it doesn't need to be prosecuted in Kenya. It could also be prosecuted in his country, in his United States. Yeah, they actually take those crimes very seriously. And Austin Holloman, Kid Greatness will be shut down in time. Oh, so also the whole crew that has been doing this, they are on notice. Yeah, they're on notice. So
that will be for the better, you know.
Yeah.
Sending money abroad.
I will play another video that where he came in and literally he's in you know, he's actually been interviewed with Razor. Razor is an American YouTuber too.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm not sure about him too much. I don't have a lot of information about him, but there it goes. So
let's see
guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me get to some of these chats. Hot topic, Rello. Super chat your question, your Kenya question to J Rello. He is here. May want to ask Rello if he thinks he deserves.
Shout out to Tembo. So Tembo said that they can share how they've done it, how they gave the information and everything, but they got the resources and they got the knowledge and they got the time to do whatever they're doing. So most definitely, if the Kenyan forces will not, the police will not take this matter seriously, they will take it upon in the United States because Tembo is actually resident in the States. So let's get to hear what Rello yesterday appeared after his hideout. Vacay ended.
Have his ass whooped. Do you for those comments? She do you feel you need to have your ass whooped for those comments about the Kenyan woman?
I'm still out here and the motherfucker ain't gonna touch me, niggas. J Rello, motherfucker touch me and they end up leaking in El Centro. You seen what happened last time a motherfucker tried to play with Rello, niggas. Pick Rello. Yeah, fuck these niggas.
There's gonna be small soon.
Thank you for that. Super chat your question, guys. If this is a crazy stream right now, a lot of people watching right now. This is J Rello here. C4 to the door. No beef no more. Vintage. Don't bring Atticus up. So yeah, and thank you for the beer. Thank you for the beer, bro. Thank you for the beer. Keith, how come you let Austin and Kid Greatness disrespect you, but you went off on B-Dub? Because like I said, I've won B-Dub 40 times, and he keeps ignoring my warnings, and Mr. Potato had to get cooked. Thank you for the donation about you and you out there in Colombia. So thank you for that. And Aubrey Armstrong with the $9.99 wine fund. Thank you for that. And you're back, Rello. The Kenyans may not be fond of your internet reactions, but let's stick to the right now.
Fuck what a nigga talking about is Rello, nigga. I'm running this shit, bro. I'm running travel space. Did you see how many videos niggas done on me, nigga? Nigga, I'm really that nigga for real, Ray.
So it was all about Clout, yeah?
Yeah.
So it was all about Clout. Because, you know, he actually ended up confessing that even after the scuffle with the girl, that the girl had to stay in like for 2 hours later.
Sure.
Before she left. So it was all about Clout.
Y'all are honored to have me on the show tonight, niggas. Rello, do you understand? Nigga, I'm really that nigga. You hear me? That nigga for
now
real.
I think he's doing damage control, but still acting tough.
All right. Well, when you started going viral, we're going to get to the other incident. When you started going viral, how did it make you feel when you got on World Star? When the video went on World Star? And when you first found out, were you happy? Were you scared? Because you're out there right now. You're like, oh, this is about to blow up. Did you give a F? How was you like, I did it again, I'm going viral again? What was your first thoughts when you first seen you was on World Star?
I never gave a fuck about going viral. I was already that nigga before I went viral. I don't need to go viral. I don't need any more press.
Just confess that for the
I get 400 in the building. It's me. Really that nigga.
It's kind of hard to get him or to understand him. What do you feel about it?
Okay, all right.
Wanted to train.
Let me see. With that World Star stuff, has anyone from World Star Hip Hop tried to hit you up?
Stupid ass nigga.
People reaching out to my mom and shit for interviews and shit. People on autographs and pictures and all type of shit, man. This what come with this shit, bro. This what come with this shit. It really come with this shit, bro. You hear me? It's me, bro. I'm a mama. You can't cry about this shit once you sign up for this shit. Nigga, it's Big Rello, the hottest nigga in the game. Yeah.
Which game you talking?
Guys, super chat your questions. All 580 people watching Raise and Raise with Jay Rello in the building right now, discussing the Kenya trip and this incidents, the multiple incidents with the people out there. Thank you, Stone 499 Kenya. Y'all look real soft right now. Y'all got this goofy talking spicy and still walking around. All right, thank you for that $4.99 donation. I appreciate you. We got Vintage. The $2 is this dude. Mental. What is this?
You know something that people despise, maybe Kenyans or Africans, is that we see those things like not very much important, and we just take our time. But I think it has not hit somebody like it is all wrong.
Like to like personally.
Yeah,
That's a personal level.
Yeah, it does not go that personal, and it should be very thankful for that.
Yeah, but like they should discipline him there in Kenya.
No. We actually respect people. We do respect people, but he's disrespecting people. But also, people are keeping quiet. He has forgotten that this is the same country that the leadership in the country have been disrespecting the people, and the people took the matters on their own hand. He forget about that, These are that people don't really care about it. It's not become a menace, but the day it will become a menace, somebody will be in for big problems.
For bigger problems.
Yeah, big problems.
Yeah. Like I said, it's gonna have all this content on here: Kenya content, Thailand content. Everything is good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm having a good time out here. I ain't gonna lie.
$100 a month.
Having a good time.
$100 a month, nigga. It's Rello, bro. It's me. I'm a mom. $100 a month.
How is it a good time?
Less than a pair of Air Force Ones, nigga. Yeah. Cindy,
guys, it's worth whatever people is gonna pay, right? Whatever people if they're gonna pay.
I'm fucking her raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I don't do porn.
You didn't
I caught something off the bitch.
But
now.
did you end up getting
positive something? I don't know what it is.
On the second date, yeah, he did.
On the second date,
for $30.
People, you gotta join that Patreon.
He paid. So he's soliciting.
He paid for pussy.
Yeah, he is soliciting. Hey, KBM, shout out to you. We're with the boys today and chopping up this the whole story. He actually came in Razor's live yesterday, and actually one of the friends was in Nairobi teacher. He was really wishing to get on the panel, but he couldn't. Let's go.
$100. Put a 1 for yes, put a 2 for no inside the chat.
He paid $30.
Yeah.
Well, you trying to take advantage of your viralness, I guess, and you trying to find other methods of like you said, you probably get some interviews set up with some people. You said people been hitting up your mother for interviews and this and that. So let me see. Vintage, $5. J Rello, how are you the #1 YouTube traveler and YouTube block your page? Says Vintage. Thank you for the $5. Let's see. $5. Long story short, Rello only do sexual porn content. All right. How can he be the #1 travel YouTuber? Thank you for that. Joe Smith Caribbean.
Andrew Senior TV, thank you for your comment. Travel association groups should introduce new guidelines in who are eligible to access the travel tickets.
Have you, right, when you first, and we're going to get to the other incident too. When you first came into this, J Rello, did you know you was going to, go viral for these type of incidents? You know what I mean? Because I think when you first started, you went viral for the crying at the airport, right? But that wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, a lot of people say it was embarrassing, but it wasn't nothing that was over the top, right? It wasn't like this, it wasn't like a chick breaking the window in your hotel room, anything like that, and you cursing around and the police having to come. It wasn't that. Could you have imagined that you would get to this level of viralness as for?
It's funny that you cried and people knew about
that.
The fuck?
Yeah.
How you cry as a man about things like that, pettiness like that?
No, it's all about hitting that emotional coin.
But depends what kind of emotion it is. Is him like failing to hit up some couple of bad bitches and shit like that, then he ends up paying like 30.
No, I think it was all about getting money funds, because he was banned from YouTube, or his channel was deleted on YouTube, so he couldn't monetize.
He's just looking for credibility and he doesn't even have.
So Nairobi Teacher did get on. Okay. So Nairobi Teacher did get on for about 5 hours, 30 minutes into the live stream. So apparently we will play where the video is. Kung Fu Fanta, welcome. Thank you so much. Reza is a passport bro from New York. He's always begging his audience to raise funds for a beer, plane ticket, sex tourism, South America, and
fuck. Then why is he even on the internet?
So this is the same person that we are listening in his life.
You should just go to school.
Yeah. Praise insane incidents in these countries.
Maybe work at Walmart.
I mean, bro.
Yeah.
It's me. So I kind of, it's me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a YouTube superstar, and that this weekend basically personifies that. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, was I shocked at how crazy it went? Yes, but I wasn't shocked that people in the travel space was going to be talking about it. But it's even bigger than it's like, it's just outside of the travel space. It's on mainstream. It's on fucking CNN.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Really, thank you. You can drop a link to sorry, I didn't get. You can drop a link to. So, okay, I'll drop the link to this video that we're listening to. Oh, you want to come up? Okay, sure. Real deal. I'll just put the link. I'll put it up. Just wait a minute. Let's listen to him a little bit, and then I'll be putting him
like, am I shocked? Yeah, am I shocked that I went crazy? No, but am I shocked at the, just how all of these just no-name channels coming out? Rello Crouch is out in Kenya. Like every other third video on your algorithm is J Rello in Kenya. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It feels bigger than when I first went viral, but in my heart, I don't know. It's not bigger because I know everybody seen me crying at the airport that one time. You see what I'm saying? So the first time I went viral, even though this is huge, the first time I went viral was definitely bigger for sure. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, there's a difference, guys. And shout out to all 630 people watching. That first time you went viral, you were still more safe. I mean, I don't know how you feeling, but it didn't seem as people were coming at you. They were laughing at you. You know what I'm saying? You see Antoine Daniels, Tanya T.O., whatever. You went viral. You see O'Shea and them. They were more laughing at you. This right here is a little different, Rello. People are actually upset and they feel offended. by your actions.
So there's somebody who actually wanted to come in. I actually shared the link so you can join.
It's out there.
Yeah.
And
Fuck what a nigga feeling about. I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker feeling about, bro. Fuck how you feel. If the truth hurts your feelings, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I came.
So hey, what's up, real deal?
Hey, greetings, my brothers. Real deal. I'm coming from the US, calling from the US over here. Greetings to you all. I'm sure you all in Kenya right now, right?
No, we're not in Kenya, but we have some of us are from Africa.
Okay. Well, I wanna on behalf of it, I wanna further explain certain things. There's differences that people don't really understand in terms of what's taking place in this space. First of all, I'm glad the way that you all and everybody is taking initiative to go after this trash. He is a bad image for productive Black American men that want to have decent relationships with foreign women, because we were trying to get away from the crazy culture. Yeah, we're trying to get away from I hate to say it, but the horrible women that we got over here in the US. So we were trying to get away from that. So when we announced it, we was not inviting guys like that. I hate to say this, but this is honest. The guys like that are the ones that mainly a lot of the women over here are having kids with and dealing with. The decent guys that you all saw in Kenya and stuff like that, that's not giving no problems. Those are the decent men that's husband material, like someone announced that, hey, there was some people there before, passport brothers, and they wasn't giving no problems. That guy, he's not no passport brother at all. He's someone that's heard about it. He actually fits in quite well, I hate to say it, with the urban American community, with the women and stuff like that, and certain ignorant males over here that act like him. He fits in well, but I don't know why he chose to travel. I think that he has a few people that cannot travel that have been donated to him for their entertainment, to watch him go out and act stupid and deal with foreign people. But I do want to come on here and make the distinction that when you hear, if you were to hear in the future, let's say women from our country, or even what we call simps, and what we call simps over here in our culture is, it's a male, but you might as well say he's a female. He has female talking points. He takes up everything women say. So if you were to hear any of them say that that's how majority of the Black American men are, no, they're lying. I want to make this distinction to tell you the truth about this. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you everything.
I think most of the Kenyans know that. Most of the Kenyans know that.
Okay, good. Okay, so you all already know that. Okay, Kenyans, and you all already know. Okay, the reason I wanted.
Kenyans do know about WhatsApp. Like if you get into Kenya, you realize that we know a lot of stuff about America. And
okay, great.
So that's why he was trending the first case. Like, okay, what he did is actually very wrong, but also when he did whatever he did, made him to trend also.
Okay. So I'm glad to hear you all say that you know the distinction. So because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. You all are going to hear some women from the US, and I'm going to tell you the truth. They actually are attracted to guys like that. They have kids with guys like that. They don't date or deal with decent men, but they're going to try to manipulate the situation and say, we all act like him, but when they're talking about it, they're only talking about guys like him because they only deal with guys like him, which caused us to have to uproot if we want to find decent women and wives. And we had to end up going to Africa. We had to go to Latin America. We had to go to different countries and so on and so forth, because over here, I hate to say it, this is a dysfunctional culture in the US culture. And he is a great representation of what we consider as the dysfunctional culture.
The degenerates.
Yes, he is the representation of the dysfunctional culture. So I'm glad that you all are intelligent enough to understand it. I'm glad that your women understand, looked at it and said, no, that's him, because like I said, There are women that come from where we come from that want to manipulate the situation, and a few, I'm gonna call them less than male men, want to manipulate the situation because they don't like to see decent men go to these other countries and deal with these beautiful women and get married and have serious relationships and leave them behind with guys like that, in which they chose to be with. So they want to manipulate it, but I'm glad you said that they cannot manipulate it because you all are intelligent enough to see that there's a distinction between guys like that and normal guys. And another thing I've noticed you all have said, the women over there do not prefer his kind, but the women on the U.S. soil prefers his kind. So I'm glad that everybody got that clear, so that way nobody could manipulate nothing. The future brothers that are intelligent, that respect you all's culture, that have respect for themselves and respect the women, when they come there and when they choose to come there, nobody will confuse them with this idiot who somehow he was not supposed to be there, but somehow he found himself there.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be there in the first instance. He's now confused. He really likes Kenya. He doesn't like Kenya. So we don't know where he stands as a person. Kung Fu Fanta, I see you around. You have something to say?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Oh, a good brother.
All right. So I'm glad that you're up with this on a live stream. Seems like everybody's doing it. First of all, I want to say Jay Rello is the same guy. I think it was a year, maybe 2 years ago in the DR. He went broke and was begging his audience for money, holding up a sign, if I remember, so he get a plane ticket back to the U.S. What happened was when the people sent him money, he stayed. He didn't go back to the U.S. He started messing around with the money that he got that he's supposed to go back to the U.S. with. Now, I want to make the distinction of what a passport bro really is. Passport bro was not invented. The term was not created by Black Americans. It's actually not even a term from America. The term comes from the European sex tourist.
Yeah, which is in there.
Yeah, this term is jargon for sex tourist. Now, for some reason, about 8 to 10 years ago, the word finally reached the shores of America with sex tourists in America. And then some of the Black Americans that picked it up decided to say, well, we started this. No, they did not start it. And they started making little clubs, started making, what do you call it? A definition that's a lie. The definition that's a lie is saying that they're going to other countries, trying to look for wives, trying to look for better women. No, what they're doing is that is a narrative, because what they're doing is illegal in almost every country that they go to.
Mm-hmm.
So when they make up that narrative, most people are not going to know. It's to actually keep you confused about what it is that they're in your country for. Now, O'Shea is a great example. He's a passport bro. He denies it, but he's now turned what you would consider a passport bro into a sex pat, meaning that a sex pat is a sex tourist who decides to stay in one location instead of going from one location to another, to another, to another, to another. We know because we've seen a lot of them in Kenya. The other thing too is that a lot of these guys are not getting arrested in countries because they know the burden of proof is you have to catch them in the act.
Yeah, true.
The thing is that some of these Americans with YouTube channels, with Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, they're bragging about it. And that's why you're having the Jay Rillos come out. Now, the problem with somebody like Austin Holloman, greatness and all that other stuff is that they're doing the same thing. The difference is they're not dumb enough to upload it on a website, one like World Star Hip Hop and stuff like that. They do it in private and they want to stay there because they don't want somebody like Jay Rillo to ruin it for them. So anytime that you hear a man say that we're going to another country to find better women, we respect the culture and all that. No, when you are a sex tourist, you're there to buy prostitution in somebody else's country. That is what a sex tourist is. And then passport bro is just a jargon. There's people that have other jargon words, but this is a very old jargon term. And it's not something that's new that's come out in the last 8 to 10 years.
May I respond and say something if I might?
Go
If I
ahead.
have to make. Okay, I don't want to interrupt. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Thank you for also coming up. Thank you all for having me here. Um, some of that is true when it speaks to certain aspects of certain people that's traveling. I'm gonna be honest with you. The rest of that was totally false. What you said. I happen to know there are plenty of people that have traveled, that have gotten married, that have actual relationships, and also I do know people that travel, which I don't have no problem with. If you are grown and the person is of adult age, whether you have a free intimate relationship with them, that's fine. Whether you what they call tricking or pay play, whatever in these countries where it's legal at, if you're respecting people, to me, that's fine. Whatever the adult is doing, whether that adult man or female, if you respect other people, you're following the law within that country. Now we have to take our rules in terms of America because we don't set the tone for everybody. We think how we think. Other people have a right to think how they think in their country, right? So when they do travel to these other places, whichever one of those they're doing, because it's all facets of men that are traveling, I say this. That's incorrect to say that none of them. You're incorrect in terms of that, but you are correct if you're speaking in reference to some people, which I don't see that as a problem if they're being respectful, if the lady is being respectful. Who's to say they had to do things here in the United States that's illegal? So they shouldn't do it in a place where it's frowned upon. And maybe they don't have any good luck with the women here, or maybe the women here don't have any good luck with the men here. That's why we have this big old world. No one said that you had to stay within your culture or the city you was born or the country you was born to interact with men or women if you don't want to. No one said you had to eat the food here. No one said that you couldn't move away and try a different environment and buy a house somewhere else and live somewhere else. That does not mean that they don't respect the culture. Now, that guy Jay Rillo, he is a whether he was buying women or whether he was quote unquote trying to meet them on a normal tip for free. The fact of the matter is that is a very ignorant, low debased individual that had no business traveling. He does not represent normal men who I know that have gotten away from this culture, this toxic culture over here in the United States, and have started a new life in terms of dating, moving, starting businesses in other places. They have relocated for the betterment of the goodness of their family. Hell, I know some women, they have moved away from the United States and moved to Africa. That does not make them toxic because they wanted something different outside the United States. You don't have to put anyone down to lift yourself up. It's just all about sometimes what's good for you. I think the problem is sometimes we often grow up in our environment in the place in which we come from. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm an American myself. I love America. They have given me a lot of opportunities. I have my career because of them. So I'm not gonna take that away from them. But I will say this, from me being an American, this is something I notice about us Americans. We can be a tad bit arrogant sometimes. We do sometimes tend to think that we're better than other people in the world because of what we're blessed with in terms of opportunity. But morally, we're often bankrupt morally. That's the reason family is not as important to us. That's the reason that things that matter the most is not as important to us. But we are awesome and we're great in terms of finances, in terms of being able to rank in revenue. And if you ask anybody, if you ask these gentlemen that's running this live right now, I've talked to many foreigners. A lot of them come here not because they even think it's so great, even though we have a beautiful country, the United States, but because there's a great opportunity for revenue. Anybody that you talk to will let you know that living away from here is a breath of fresh air. How do I know that? Because I've had the opportunity to travel away from here. Yes, I love women that's outside the United States. Yes, because I'm grown. I have a right to date who I want to date. If homosexuals can be homosexual, I have a right to like women, in different places. That's the freedom that we're blessed with. But no one will tell you that they're coming here to date a lot of us. They'll tell you that they're coming here for finances and they want to have a better life to be able to go back to their native land and return those resources to have a better life in their native land. And I don't blame them because I had an opportunity to travel to some countries in which I'm not going to name. And I saw that certain aspects, they kind of got us beat. Now, financially, I'm going to be honest, we're winning all day, every day. But I wanna say that you are partly correct in terms of some people, which I don't have no problem. I don't think they're doing nothing wrong, because hell, to be honest with you, United States has damn near turned into a prostitution culture. If you look at the way that our women talk, well, I don't want to say our women, I don't own anybody. The US women talk on TikTok in terms of about what you're going to do for relationships, the way that things are monopolized when it comes to marriage. If you get a divorce and whoever's making the most money, they have legal rights to take your property. You have to pay a divorce lawyer. That sounds like it's not direct prostitution, but it sounds like something dealing with relationship and money to me. So I kind of don't like that when people, and not nothing that you said was wrong. I agree with some of it, but a lot of it I want to express myself about. And as far as who invented the term passport bros, I can't argue with you on that because I honestly don't know. When I'm out of the country, I don't walk around saying I'm passport bro. I myself, and I travel and I love foreign women. Have me a foreign girlfriend. I represent me. But that's all I want to say about that. But you're correct on that. I pass the mic back to you on certain aspects. Yes.
So really, there's some things you said. I also agree with you. Where you say that men are leaving, actually being a passport bro, but just leaving voluntarily because they believe they could find women elsewhere, which is actually very true.
Yes.
And I think I also support that. Love could be found anywhere. It could be in any place, even if it was in mass, people could still find love. So with that, I believe with you. I just want to shout out Bog Worldwide and Political as usual for coming in. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And I think there was somebody else, Sam Daniels. Thank you for coming in. Also, Kobe had mentioned there are many comments. We'll get into it later. And I think there's Adams and there is. I don't see any other person. I think it's Adams only. So, what Kufu said about the passport bro, another thing that people don't know, whatever the JRL is trying to do, it has not happened the first time. And it's not, maybe this is the first time happening with a black man on camera, but it has been happening with the white people. So us as Kenyans, we know this kind of behavior. It's not new to us. And we have condemned it many times. So when we, even me myself coming out to condemn what General does is that I do not want to see our own brothers, because I believe you're our own brothers who are just in America. So we do not want you to come over and do that mistake that other people have been doing before.
Yeah.
So that's why we and I think that's why even General has not been caught by the police. We just been playing cool and also trying to let him get attached. Because even when Austin arrived in Nairobi, he was so ratchet too. No wonder somebody sued him about the baby paternity. So we believe that some people can change, but for Rello, I don't think he could change. That's my own opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and clarify the passport bros further, because since it's been on a so-called movement for the past 8 to 10 years, you get a lot of people that get online who are actually looking for a better relationship with women that are not from the West. It's not an American thing, it's a Western thing as far as the bad attitudes are concerned. The way the divorce rates are, like actually the American culture is a duplicate of the UK culture, because UK used to lead the world in divorces until about 18 years ago. America took over. So basically, America is a carbon copy of the UK with its own, I guess you could say, picture of what it looks like. You have the accent, you have a few different rules and stuff like that when it comes to divorce. But here's the thing. Men are definitely looking for wives in other countries. The thing is that majority of these men are not doing that. Majority of these men coming from Western countries are looking for prostitution when they're going out having sex in other countries with other people that they don't know. There's nothing wrong with somebody meeting somebody and they have dinner and they have an attraction with each other. And then if that's what comes to be, that's what comes to be. The thing is that most of these men that go over that are doing this is that they are actually buying prostitution, or they like a woman and they try to make her a prostitute for the day. So what does that look like? A prostitute for the day. A prostitute for the day is going to a woman. I'm interested in her. So this guy wants to entice her, maybe with a laptop or money. It's always transactional 100% of the time. We're not talking about a dinner or anything like that. And sometimes these women say yes at the understanding that, okay, this is a one-time thing. And other women understand it as, okay, maybe he actually likes me, and then finds out that she was used as a prostitute for the day and the deal is done. He's gone. He's not coming back. These are men that are not looking for girlfriends. These are men that are not looking for wives. And it's unfortunate that the men that are looking for girlfriends or wives, genuinely, some of them are calling themselves passport bros and mixing themselves up with the term that they're calling themselves a sex tourist, which is unfortunate because they don't understand what that term actually means. So what this also does in a very negative way, it empowers the sex tourist like Jay Rello, like Austin, like Kid Greatness, and like these other European guys that are well, there's a Spanish guy in Spain. I forget his name, but he's like the biggest passport bro out there. And people like O'Shea look up to him and stuff like that. They praise his name. But anyway, it's given these guys more power, and it's given them more validity in a way on social media that, oh, it's okay to do this. We're growing. We're bigger in number. When actually a majority of men who just travel, period, are not sex tourists. Majority of women who just travel, period, are not female sex tourists. But the ones who are getting a lot of the attention are these sex tourists. These passport sisters, these passport bros, they're getting the attention that they don't deserve. And it's being looked at as a joke, and it's being lumped in with men and some of these women that they're actually going out looking for relationships. And what that is doing, it's ruining the image of the people who are actually looking for relationships and marriages and stuff like that with somebody else from another country. They might be able to get along better with somebody else from another country than where they're from, and live a better life and live a fruitful life and have a great family. The typical thing with America is that a marriage will last 20 years or less. I call it the 20-year rule, and I've been saying that for many years. If the marriage even lasts 20 years, it's almost always the woman who asks for the divorce. And you'll hear the same excuses over and over, and there's been interviews done about this. I got my kids, I got my house, or one of the biggest excuses and one of the most lame excuses I can hear a woman ever say for a divorce is, I just want to be single again. So a man wasted 20 years of his life slaving for this woman, and then she wants to be single again because she's basically got everything that she wants, or she feels tired, meaning that she wasn't there from the very beginning. You wanted to be there for richer or poor, for sickness or in health. That's just not the culture in America and other Western countries. That's just not the culture. The culture is to destroy the family unit. However, this is not an excuse, because that's a reality. This is not an excuse for men to go to other countries with their passport and illegally, in majority of these countries, we're not talking places like Amsterdam where it's legal. Majority of these countries, it is illegal. It is a part of sex trafficking. It's a part of human trafficking. When you are the person with the passport and you're searching for the women, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear.
Okay, I just saw a play sign. But anyway, you're searching for the women with your passport in another country. That means you are the predator. If you're going there for sex, you are the predator. You're not going there for culture. Anybody that goes for prostitution in somebody else's country, of course they're going to go to a restaurant because they need to eat. They're hungry. Of course, they might go to a bar or somewhere and buy a drink because they're thirsty. So you're not going there for the food. You're not going there for the drink. Those are just necessities that come with the travel, no matter what you're traveling for. But when you're traveling for women, and when the women are traveling for men, you are the predator. And you deserve to be in jail. And we already know that, okay, it's the burden of proof. Well, you got to catch them in the act. The police know this. The FBI knows this. And what a lot of Americans don't know, at least for America, I don't know about the other Western countries. I think the UK might be the same on this, because I've talked to somebody else from the UK and they said it was, but I never looked it up myself. If you commit sex tourism in another country, meaning that you buy prostitution in another country as an American, And I'm only speaking of where it's illegal in other countries. If the evidence is there and you come back to the States, you can be arrested in the States and serve time for what you did in somebody else's country, which is by prostitution. That's why some of these guys, like in Colombia and the DR that are filming, when they come back to the US, if there's evidence on them, they are going to jail. They have to go into jail. Or sometimes they'll just let them, the FBI will work with the local police in the country where they committed the crime. And we're not talking about just these men that go after kids. We're talking about the ones that also go after a full-grown woman, prostitute. We're talking about the real thing here. Some of those men are going to prison or doing some jail time in the country where they actually committed the crime, and ones that come back to the U.S. Now, a lot of these guys, when I say it's illegal and other people have told them it's legal, they actually don't believe it. They think that this is a joke. And it's not a joke. Austin Holloman, people like him, and this guy in Spain, they have YouTube channels. They're looked at as people now with a good reputation. But before, they were making outrageous videos. And this guy in Spain, he's even got books that he has on Amazon where he's actually talking about ways that you can get away with sex tourism when you go to the other countries. And mind you, this is O'Shea's hero. And O'Shea was the very first one to come to Africa and start promoting. And I was the one who exposed him in 2019, promoting sex tourism on a few different live streams. Once I did that, he stopped immediately. He stopped his online demeanor on his YouTube channels and all that, but his behavior behind the scenes has not changed. He is still the original YouTuber who advertised prostitution via Passport Bros in Africa to American men that could come over and do what they want, because he was recruiting people to come to Uganda, Kenya, and he's still doing it, but he's doing it with actual stories and stuff like that where, oh, you could come here, you could do this, you could do that, but he's still the same person. A tiger doesn't change its stripes. This guy in Spain is the same thing. He's been doing it for well over 20 years. Tiger doesn't change its stripes. So what I'm trying to tell everybody, yes, there is men out there that are actually trying to find wives and stuff like that in other countries. However, the majority that go around having sex in other people's countries with their passport are sex tourists, because that's the only real reason why they're going there. And when they're at home in America, Spain, whatever, until they get their next plane ticket to go to the next country, a lot of them are buying prostitution locally in the U.S., even though they may not like the women, but they can't wait. And then here's another thing. Here's another fact about sex tourists. And very few of them are married. And when they're actually buying prostitution while they're married, that means they don't like the marriage. But most of these men will never get married. And the reason why is because they don't want the responsibility to deal with a human being, being a woman, with day-to-day situations. They just want the contract. That's why there's money offered, there's gifts offered for their sex, for the simple fact that once the deal is done, they don't have to deal with that woman ever again if they don't want to. But when you're married, or when you actually have a girlfriend, like a real girlfriend, there's other things you have to do in order to make that relationship work. And these men don't want that kind of stress. But that still doesn't give them an excuse of why they're going to go to somebody else's country, like Jay Rello, and commit crimes. And he was dumb enough to film it and put it up on, not YouTube, but WorldStar. So I know it's long-winded, but I had to make that clarification because the Passport Bros and the Passport Bro so-called movement, the actual Passport Bro movement, is illegal. Okay, and I rest my mic.
All right, you need to land your plane immediately after that statement. I don't know why a conversation about Jay Rello turned into the demonization of Passport Bros. Jay Rello is not a Passport Bro.
He's a Passport Bro.
Bullshit.
A passport bro is a sex.
Bullshit.
You must have came in late. A passport.
No, dude. I know all about Jay
comes
Rello.
from Europe.
He
It does not
never
come
claimed to
from
be a
America.
passport bro.
Passport
He
bro
has,
comes from Europe.
okay, you already
That's where the term
said your
comes
point.
from.
You
That's
already
where the term comes from.
made your point.
You're
Let me
gaslight.
respond
You're
to everything you
gaslighting.
said.
You're trying to
Half of what
justify
you said was
what it is.
bullshit.
You're trying to
Half of
change
what
the
you said was
definition
bullshit, and
of
I
what
gotta
it
respond
is.
to it. Half of what you said was bullshit. I need to
No,
respond to
no,
it.
no, no, no. What I
Half of what you
said
said was
pisses you off.
bullshit.
The simple fact that you know is true.
No, you already got an opportunity to speak.
Speak.
Thank you. Number one, Jay Rello is not a passport bro. He never claimed to be a passport bro. They do this every single time. Every single time that damn Jay Rello does something stupid, they use it as an excuse to attack the passport bros and try to connect them with sex tourism. Every single time. This guy did exactly that. Oh wow, I can accuse the passport bros of being a part of this. Enough with the rhetoric. Enough. And I'm not going to sit here and let you get away with it. He has nothing to do with the passport bros. He never will have anything to do with the passport bros.
But he's a passport bro.
The passport bros have been denouncing him for 4 years. Have you been doing that?
He bought a prostitute. That's a passport bro.
All the passport bros I know have denounced him for the past 4 years. And
Because
you've been running your damn mouth with that rhetoric.
So anytime
you got away with it.
out and do this,
No, you got away. I'm not going. No.
Yes.
No, you got away with it.
Yes. He's a passport bro.
No.
Yes.
You need to apologize right now.
No. I don't
need to apologize right now.
I do not need to apologize for the truth. I'm not going to side with lies. I'm not going to side with the criminal activity.
That individual, it's like, number one, half of you guys don't even know what a passport bro is.
I know you don't know what a passport bro is. Because you're saying I don't know what a passport bro is. I already claimed what a passport bro is. Passport bros has come from Europe, bro. Decades ago, that term has been.
Wait a minute, I am speaking, son. I am speaking.
But you're lying. So, KLA, this is what I'm talking about. Me and you have talked about this for a few years now.
Yeah.
You guys like this guy Reed, and I don't mean to talk down on him because I'm not. He's defending the idea that passport bros has nothing to do with prostitution when the term itself actually sex tourist.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry, I just removed him because he was shouting on the live, so I want him to come down, and then we'll invite him over. We just have a normal conversation about it. Because I think there's no need to shout. If you have a point to address, just let it out,
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just calm down my mic. I'll mute.
No problem. So we've got Jay Travels, who is also watching us and has actually done a lot of contribution. We have say on the course, thinking that we are just talking about Jay Rello to just box in the whole situation. We're not, and we're not going to stop. He has actually offended the country, and we took it personally. We are very respectful. We will not do anything to Jay Rello. He's much welcome, as much as other people are welcome. But we do just ask that as you come into Kenya, please respect the people, respect the country. We are a country that is trying to get better out of itself. We have our own faults, and just as much as America has its own faults, we just call upon people to just come and unite and build. You can come back, Carlos. Carlos, you can join back the link. So another person who is Westner. I've missed Westner also too. The comments are coming in. What do you have to say about his last video, Kung Fu Fanta? I don't know if you have seen it. You're on mute.
Check on YouTube if it's still online.
I don't know. Am I still online? If I'm still online, please let me know. Just type 1. Because you said, where have you been? You have been off. So I don't know. Okay, so you can hear me. I really you dropped out of the comments. So say one says, how have you been on YouTube? Guy, your page lying. No, I'm not lying. I'm just discussing about this situation. I'm not lying anything. Lies. He didn't do anything. Kung Fu Fanta says, drop the link. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the link again. Also, Carlos, you can join in, but please, just let's discuss. We're not fighting against one another. Okay, your mic is not working. Okay. Okay, Kobe says, you believe it. I know it's hard to believe an African has figured out. Yeah, we figured out. Kobe, we figured out. Kenyans, we figured out. Western said, Kobe Tembo, yes, he had problems in Brazil and knows the same type as Rello does. And there's another comment I also saw that says, indicated that, welcome back, Real Deal.
Hey, can I say something real quick before Carlos get up here?
Yeah, I'll put Carlos still hanging a little bit.
Yeah, please put him back up. He had a lot of stuff he needed to say, but I want to say something. And no disrespect to the last gentleman that was on here, but that's a prime example of our culture here. Now, I would just go ahead and be honest and tell you this. Maybe you know or you're not familiar with it. I'm going to say urban American culture is a little slightly different from Caucasian American culture, even though both individuals are residing within the United States of America and they're under a certain type of culture, right? Okay, so let's put that out there. If you notice what he talked about in terms of people going and engaging in this is what we would call like a pay for play in different countries, when we know that most other countries that's not frowned upon, but in the United States, even though it goes on a lot and it's illegal, it's frowned upon in the United States. If you notice, he's bringing our American laws and our American beliefs across to you all and other people's countries. And that's another thing that we were trying to escape to. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about the arrogance of us as American people. We feel as though whatever we was taught to do, or whatever we were taught to do, or whatever the law and the government says for our country, we think you should behave the same way, or you should wear your clothes like us, or you should think like us, because we're the mighty United States. And if you don't do what we do, you're wrong, or something's wrong with you. That's the arrogance that I've been trying to get away from, even though, don't get me wrong, once again, I love my country. I love the opportunities they provided for me. But I've gone to many countries, and the one thing they have mentioned is the arrogance. And they weren't talking about me because I don't come across that way. But a lot of us tend to think that other people should eat how we eat or believe how we believe. If we believe in, let's say, Christianity or whatever, if that's our main thing, some of us would have the audacity to look at you funny if you say that you're Muslim. If we believe in, I don't know, eating hamburgers, some of us will have the audacity to look at you funny because you believe in eating a salad. That's how off the rockers that some of us are. Now, again, make my point again. We're good for finances. And he even admitted, he talked about the badness of the system here in terms of marriage and all that stuff. Okay, well, maybe that man that's traveling over there in a country where it's legal and accepted, in that country, maybe not the USA, but in that country, maybe that man is a hardworking Caucasian man, a hardworking black man, a hardworking Chinese man that wants to go over there and enjoy a beautiful woman. Maybe he's having fun until he meet his wife in a different place, which if that person is an adult, I have no problems with it. The only time I'm going to have an issue with it if I hear about somebody messing with someone that is underage, and I would try to report them myself, regardless of where I'm at. But sadly to say, I'll tell you this much: even in some countries, I guess what? There goes our views again, here versus there. Some countries, underage for us is not underage for them. So you also have to keep that in account too. You have to also keep in mind that these are your beliefs coming from your soul. The food you eat, the things that you like to get up and do, these are your thoughts. This is how you was raised. This is how you was programmed from a toddler on up to a teenager, on up to a child, on up to an adult. This is how you was programmed. Everybody wasn't programmed under the same software that you was programmed under. So no, nobody else may not look at it badly like, oh, that person went out there and got this type of woman. Maybe the US would, even though we have a lot of that. But again, the US don't speak for everybody. I'm gonna pass it to Carlos because Carlos wanted to say something before he left.
Right. Yeah. I want to be able to speak without being interrupted. Okay. Now, the pastor bros that I know of have been denouncing that dude for the past 4 years. Every single one of them. Okay. Now, you have those guys who call themselves pastor bros, and you got those guys who actually are pastor bros. Now, the people who hate the pastor bros use the actions of the people like Jay Rello to attack a whole bunch of men who hadn't done a damn thing wrong. And we saw that rhetoric right here on this panel just not too long ago. So, okay, everybody I know, all the guys who I know who are pastor bros, completely denounce this kind of behavior. We've been on this guy for 4 years straight, saying, "Hey, dude, you're moving wrong. There's something wrong with you, dude. You need to stop it because you're making us look bad. You need to stop it." He continued to do what he wanted to do. He said he wasn't a pastor, bro. He didn't give a damn what we said, and he kept on doing what he wanted to do. Now, the mongers, what you guys are actually talking, what Kung Fu is actually talking about, the mongers, which I was trying to say about, but he kept interrupting me. The mongers started calling themselves pastor bros too once the name got popular, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So any type of anti-pastor bro rhetoric came from the actions of mongers, so they'll just attack all of us. Oh, the pastor bros. Oh, somebody does something stupid overseas. Oh, that's got to be one of those pastor bros. It's just that rhetoric. And I don't care about what someone assumes, okay? Okay, you need to look in the mirror before you start assuming things and then saying, see, this is what I'm talking about. They support this. When did I say I support this or that? I did not. That's slander. I've been married to my wife for 10 years, who I met overseas. I got tired of the toxic dating culture in America. And dating overseas was the best move I ever made in my life. Because I found women that were kind, feminine, easy to get along with, non-toxic. I don't care if the mongers decide to call themselves pastor bros too. But I'm not going to let them use our name that we created without them. And then have someone like Kung Fu try to attack me when I did nothing wrong. Before you start spreading the word, oh, the pastor bros are evil, the pastor bros are evil. There's a lot of good people who call themselves pastor bros. And then, of course, there's some bad ones. So in reality, just like you can say all black people, all white people, most are good people, but there's some bad people here and there. And that's basically what we got. So they use the conduct of the bad ones to attack all of us. And that wasn't right. So that rhetoric you threw out there when we've been denouncing that person for the past 4 years to the point where we want to jump him because we're sick and tired of his antics overseas. And then you're going to use this as an opportunity to attack a bunch of people who did nothing wrong. That was low down. That was evil. It was plain evil. What you just did was plain evil. Enough with the rhetoric. This is about Jay Rello, not about a bunch of guys who didn't do a damn thing wrong. This is about Jay Rello. And Jay Rello is not a pastor bro. He has made it clear he wasn't a pastor bro. Stop defining the pastor bro name as something derogatory. You need to stop it. Pastor bro philosophy is to get out of this toxic dating culture that demonizes good men. And there are good men. We can't have a bunch of immature mongers decide to call themselves passport bros too. So before you start throwing that name around, passport bros this, passport bros that, you need to chill on that word. You need to talk about the people who are actually doing something wrong, not throwing around the word passport bros to everybody like it's something evil. Because I distinguish the difference between the two, which you do not do. The good men who have traveled and got away from that toxic dating culture that benefits very bad people, they got away from that. They went overseas. This should be about Jay Rello and his antics, and we're tired of his antics. But he's not going to get away with it this time. I don't know how he got away with the other 3 times. So we're trying to make sure he's held accountable for his actions. And that's what this conversation should be about, not demonizing a group of people that you don't even know and never even met. And I land my plane. If you call me anything derogatory based on the fact I sometimes identify as a passport bro, I will sue you for slander. And that's all I got to say. We need to identify the people who are actually doing something wrong instead of throwing around the word passport bro like it's everybody who identifies as it as evil. We need to stop that. Stop it. These American women are pissed off that we decided not to date them anymore. And they're going to use every damn thing in their power to try to discredit all of us. And I'm not going to let this happen. There's a lot of good men who have pretty much saved their lives by pretty much dating overseas and not dealing with the toxic dating culture anymore. Do you realize that in our culture, bad boys are considered the ideal man that beat? And what about the good guys? What are they supposed to do?
There are good guys, Carlos, who are actually genuinely traveling to find love or better themselves, get out of the culture, just go to a new culture, and basically doesn't mean they're doing bad. But now the thing is this: you also have to understand that at the end of the day, the negative will carry the biggest weight. Right. So the name has been.
But what Kung Fu did, he used it as an opportunity to attack people who hadn't done a damn thing wrong.
Which is a very noble and a good thing to do. But I think at the moment, the name Passport Bro has been tainted to be of the negative connotation. So at the moment, the negative on Passport Bros is so heavy that it can never be associated with any good anymore. That's the sad reality about it. Well, it should be a good thing, but now the sad part is that it has been associated with something negative about it.
When the mongers started calling themselves passport bros, that's what really destroyed everything. And the women who are against all of us traveling for any reason, they used that to their advantage. And they basically did what Kung Fu did. They're just like, oh, okay, all these Black American men are leaving. They are bad people.
No, but if you had one person wrong, if you had, he said this thing was not started by Black Americans. It was started by the white people.
All right, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So at least to be fair,
Black Americans started doing when Black Americans started traveling and going overseas. That's when it became controversial because Black American women were outraged by it because they no longer had the monopoly in the whole dating market in America anymore. They no longer had it, and they couldn't deal with that. So they did everything in their power to discredit us. Now, shortly after they finally, large percentage of them found out about the Passport Bros, guess what happened? They found Jay Rello 4 years ago. He was trapped in DR and made a fool out of himself. And his video went viral. He said, this is the image of the Passport Bros. That rhetoric. And we never even heard of this dude. It's this whole rhetoric thing needs to stop. This is about Jay Rello, not about Passport Bros. And they always want to throw up Passport Bros into it just to attack them. They're always using Jay Rello's antics to attack Passport Bros. And I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Okay, Carlos. Let me be clear on this. Yeah, we are not actually using this to attack anyone in particular. We have a fear. What happened in Kenya? I think Kung Fu can remind me. It should be about 7 years or 10 years or 12. There happened to be a gentleman from Europe at the moment, at that particular time, and who came to Kenya and he was doing the most scary stuff that I can't even say right now at the moment. I still need time to think about it. Like it was bestiality recording. So with Jay Rello, that's a very minor issue at the moment. But we have a fear as a Kenyan, me myself, I have a fear. If this is led to continue, we will see worse. And it doesn't have to be about Americans. It has to do with what Jay Rello is doing and actually him not being prosecuted, because we know our law, how it operates. Then more are yet to come and the worst is going to be seen. And it is going to be sad for me to see my own black man doing all those things that I wish not him to do.
Well, let me tell you this. If something bad happens to him, that would discourage the other Pookies from coming over there. All right. All right. We want to discourage the Pookies from going over to Africa. And I knew when I said this back in 2015 when I had my Facebook group, if those clowns, it doesn't matter if you call yourself a pastor bro or a pro-black Pan-Africanist or whatever you call yourself. All right. There's Pookies among black Americans. All right. And what is a Pookie? A Pookie is a degenerate. All right. And unfortunately, we have some degenerates in our culture, just like everybody else. But if our degenerates got over there, they were gonna do something stupid. Any one of our degenerates, and they were gonna use that degenerate to attack all of us. Now, a lot of black Americans have been over there, have done some great things. I'm planning on doing some good things with a very good friend of mine in Kenya, and we're gonna pass out blankets to homeless kids and stuff like that, and do all sorts of good things when I get there. Now, why is it that out of all the good these black Americans have been doing as who came there, all of a sudden gets tainted because of one person, because somebody has an agenda? They don't like passport bros. So why don't we use Jay Rello's conduct to attack all of them so we can like put a bad light on all of them so we can discourage all of them from traveling. All right. But the idea is to discourage the Pookies from traveling. Okay, let's get past all this passport bro rhetoric. The people who are causing the problems are the traveling Pookies, the traveling degenerates. They are the problem, not the passport bros, these traveling degenerates. I call them passport Pookies, traveling Pookies, whatever you want to call them. They're degenerates. All right? And that's what the problem is. Not the rhetoric that Kung Fu has said, but that's the actual problem. Okay? Because the pro-blacks and Pan-Africanists who are also against the passport bros, they have their Pookies also. And many of their Pookies did a lot of bad things in Tanzania. A lot. But nobody talks about it. Why? Because they're identified as pro-blacks, not passport bros. See, the passport bros are the enemy because they don't date black American women. They don't date any American women, but specifically black American women. And they're upset about that. And now they want to attack all of us because of that. But they need to live with that. They need to go see some counseling. I'm sorry they don't want to date you. I'm sorry you can't take advantage of them anymore. I'm sorry you cannot use and abuse them anymore. But they've moved on. But you want to take a person like Jay Rello, antics. Oh, this is our opportunity to smear the whole passport bro name. And we got a guy named Kung Fu Fanta to help us. That is pretty sad. And he actually said, this is what I'm talking about. Enough with the rhetoric. Enough. Every group of people have their degenerates. If you look at all the Republicans, all the Democrats, you're going to find some degenerates in both political parties. If you look at all the passport bros, there are going to be some degenerates. That's the reality. I deal with reality. I don't deal with rhetoric. And he gave a lot of rhetoric. And I was offended by it. And I land my plane on that.
Kung Fu Fanta, do you have something to say about the story that I mentioned about it?
Yeah, that was a passport bro that was nabbed in Mombasa. If you remember, he was a former employee, if I remember, with the United Nations.
Yeah, he had to be a passport bro because he did something wrong, right?
Oh, I thought you didn't. I thought you didn't like being interrupted.
He can't
hold on, Carlos. Hold on. Carlos, let him speak. Let him speak, Carlos. Let him speak.
Okay,
let him speak.
yeah, I'll let him. I will respond.
Yeah, don't interrupt him, Carlos. Let him speak. Let him speak.
I will
Let him speak.
respond after he speaks. Go ahead.
Yeah, let him get his stuff out. Let him speak.
So it's a story that happened. I don't even think it was 10 years ago, but this guy, I believe, used to work for the United Nations or some other government organization that was from Europe at the time. And basically what he did is he took a bunch of laptops, a bunch of cameras, hired prostitutes in the Mombasa area to start making porn film. And he was also, when the cops raided there, they also raided, when they raided the laptops, they found accounts to websites, porn websites, stuff like that. They also found a bunch of videos that he's been traveling to like countries like Zambia and other places doing the exact same thing. The bestiality part was actually not true. That was a rumor reported by the Kenyan media, because we all know that the Kenyan media likes to be like a tabloid sometimes. So that was debunked on that. So the doctor was in the comment had nothing to do with that.
Like you?
No, say what again?
A tabloid like you?
Carlos.
You call this dude that you don't even know a passport bro.
Hold on. Carlos, let him talk. Let him talk.
So the term passport bro actually
also call yourself out. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
The term passport bro is jargon for a sex tourist that came out by the Europeans decades ago before any American ever heard of the term. So a passport bro by definition is a sex tourist.
That's a lie.
And unfortunately, there's some good men out there that will actually take up that name.
But keep on going.
Well, unfortunately, Carlos doesn't know anything about this because he wants to be the one that's the authority on it. And
you're the one who wants to be an authority on it because you keep making stuff up.
Yeah, outrageous like Jay Rello, and you have some that are totally quiet. Anytime a man is where it's illegal,
are you saying I'm just like Jay Rello?
Carlos, let them talk. Let everybody. Let's just talk and get our piece and pass the mic.
There's no.
Yeah, let's not interrupt each other. Let's not interrupt.
Now you can.
I know. Hold on. Even if we disagree,
name like it has something to do with it.
Hold on. Even if you disagree, let's let the person talk. Whoever it is, like I let him talk. He let me talk. Yeah. Let's let everybody talk, whether you agree or disagree. That's how you have a dialogue. That's how you can come to a conclusion. You may meet somewhere in the middle. You never know, but let's allow everybody to talk, whether we agree or disagree. That's how we can get a lot further with the conversation. I apologize, sir. Go ahead and continue what you saying, Mr. Confused.
Okay, so the thing is, anytime a man, so we'll be speaking in general, a man buys prostitution in an area where it's illegal, that's committing a crime. That's the plain fact. Whether if you're doing it within the United States where you come from or the UK where you come from, it's illegal. When you travel and you go to another country and it's not permitted there, it's illegal. So
we all know that.
Okay, but it seems that it has to be drawn out and spelled out so many times.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Keep on going.
It does.
All right. Okay.
It's unfortunate. So this guy that came from Europe, he was busted. He was exposed. All the stuff was confiscated. I really don't know the end result. He probably was just deported. I know he was deported, but he probably got away with it at the end of the day. But he was exposed for something that was egregious in the country, made the country look bad. It was one of the worst moments in Kenya history as far as anything like this happening. Mm-hmm. And this is what he was more than a sex tourist. This guy was more like a porno pimp. So he was pimping out, unfortunately, who are desperate for money. So when there's desperation of poverty, there's opportunity for people like this, and the Jay Rillos and the guy in Spain who is still, I can't think of his name, take advantage of these women in these other countries.
Okay. All right. Can I speak?
Go ahead.
I agree with everything you said, except for that remark you made about passport bros. It's like you're obsessed with it. oh, this guy did something 10 years ago. Let me brand him a passport, bro. Enough of that rhetoric, please.
He's a passport.
No, I'm not finished speaking, sir. You already spoke.
Now, but Carlos, right. Also remember, in the Kenyan media, he was mentioned as a passport bro from Europe. So it's not about that we also playing around with it. Even the Kenyan media called him a passport bro.
KLA.
This was something that happened 10 years ago.
KLA. He wasn't. I'm just correct you on that part. He wasn't labeled as a passport bro. He was labeled as somebody who has taken advantage of women. You know, in a porn sting.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Can I finish speaking? Okay. Now, this is a perfect example of always throwing the name passport bro into every damn thing. Okay. That's a perfect example. Whoever this creep was, I'm sorry about that. I hopefully that the Kenyan government will crack down on these type of individuals. Now, we had some individuals who were doing very bad things in Tanzania. But these individuals swore they hated the passport bros, but they were doing very bad things too. Okay? All right, just because someone does something wrong overseas, it doesn't mean they call themselves a passport bro. It's just some people like to throw that name around because the women were upset that men were no longer dating in America. Okay, so let's stop with throwing this name passport bro around. And as soon as I said that, Kung Fu gets up and does it again. Oh, this guy 10 years ago had to been a passport bro. Enough with the rhetoric, sir. Please.
Hello.
All right. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Okay. Now, these Europeans have not been held accountable.
I think it's my signal.
All right. Now, the passport bros I know, the ones who got wives, who got married, who got away from that toxic dating culture, and they've all denounced this J Rello. And I am shocked.
Can you hear me?
I am shocked that someone would just say the name passport bro means prostitution or sex tourism. That's the definition that the angry women came up with because they were upset that the men no longer wanted to date in America. And if they don't want to date in America, that's their right. Because when women were going overseas and dating men, nobody was upset about it. Nobody was upset about it. But as soon as the men started doing it, oh, now there's a problem. Now there's a problem. So now we got people with this rhetoric. Okay, if anybody does something wrong overseas, we're going to call them a passport bro. Okay, enough of that rhetoric. You could have said the exact same thing without saying passport bro. But you didn't because you want to smear the name. Real bad. And I'm not going to sit here and let you get away with it. Okay, Kung Fu? You could have easily said that without saying passport bro because that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Yeah, you need to leave. He's going to come up on this panel with all this rhetoric. Oh, the passport bros are going to do this. The passport bros are this. The passport bros are that. Enough with that rhetoric. Enough. Enough. Now, he said that the passport bro name was around for over 10, 15 years, right? Did he not say that, real deal?
Yes, he did. He said he said it was started by Europeans or somebody, and it was around.
That's a bold-faced lie. That was a name that the Black American men came up with, like around 2016. It was around 2016 when that name first came up, and these were men that were sick and tired of dating in America because the dating culture became too toxic, and fast forward 8 years later, or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, around 2020, something like that, 5 years later. Black American women found out about the passport.
Yeah,
I think we're having issues with the audio. Is it okay? Can you
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fellas. I hear you fellas loud and clear. Everything is clear.
But see, everybody on the panel, I've heard this term. back in 2005. I read this term in 2005 by Europeans who are sex tourists. So it's not something that came out in 2016. It's something that came out decades ago. So it's a new term for Americans.
Okay, well, my whole thing is this, man. I hear your perspective. I definitely respect your perspective on situations and everything, but uh, my honest opinion now about it, once again, whether it be man or woman, whether you're going to get married, which nobody, let's just be honest, people don't even do that in the United States. Nobody walks outside, especially in 2025. No one's walking out there and talking about finding their wife or husband very quickly. If anything, United States, we're definitely what you would call in today's time the hookup culture. So we're definitely in a hookup culture situation over here in the USA. Now, to expect someone when they go overseas to be looking for a wife immediately, I'm not talking about the people who are looking for a wife immediately. That's, you got to kind of be a little bit realistic about that. People start off a certain type of way. They attracted to one another physically, and when it grows, it kind of grows and it goes into another situation if it's going to go into that. Me personally, the issue I have with Jay Rello is not him going over there in another country that is okay with him seeking adult entertainment. I don't have a problem with him being an adult seeking adult entertainment with another adult. I had an issue with the physical assault that was displayed on a video that I heard. I have an issue with him being verbally disrespectful to somebody else's country and very demeaning to the women of that country. I have an issue with him misrepresenting himself and carrying himself in a very ignorant manner. My issue is not with him going to have him a good time. I'm okay with a man having a good time. Hell, we're men, for Christ's sakes. I mean, what man don't want to have a good time? And if he don't want to do that in America, he doesn't have to do that in America. If he wants to do it in America and do it over there, if it's with an adult and everybody's consenting, I don't care what he does. But those other things that he did, I had a problem with. The disrespect, the physical abuse, and the misrepresentation, and the overall ignorancy. That's what I had an issue with. Other than that, I can care less who he sleeps with, who he pays, if they agree to it, especially in these different countries. Again, our culture is not everybody else's culture. People don't see things the way people in the United States was brought up to see things. You know, I wish a lot of people, I know we are stuck on whatever it is that we saw when we was kids growing up, and everybody's going to tell you that wherever they come from is the best. I have the best city. I have the best country. I'm the best. I'm the best. That's great to think that way, but also you have to also be mindful of the fact that you're not the only one that exists. You're not the only one with a perspective on life. What's normal to you may not be normal to the next person, and what's not normal to you may be normal to the next person. So we have to keep that in mind when we talk about the culture of, just like you mentioned, Amsterdam. You're correct about the red light districts and stuff like that. Okay, that's frowned upon in the United States. As of right now, it's frowned upon. But again, who are we to say that we're better than those people because we do things differently, because we have this marriage system or whatever? We want you to go about spending money with women a different way. We can't say that we're better. We can't say that they're better. We just say that we have our way and our customs and values that attributes to our culture. Other people have their customs and values that attribute to their culture. And that's it. And once again, my only issue with this Jay Rello guy is his ignorancy and his disrespect of the young ladies abroad in different countries, because he not only did this in Africa, in Kenya, he did this in other places. So I have an issue with him carrying on like that with women in general. So that's my thing. I don't care about him getting lucky. I mean, if that's what makes a man happy, I recommend a man get lucky with a woman if she's agreeing with it. But that other stuff he needs to be prosecuted for. He needs to be kicked out and not allowed to travel, period, or something needs to be done. But I'm not going after him because he liked women or because he paid a woman. I can care less about that. I don't even see nothing wrong with if that's what he wants to do, as long as it's not nobody underage. And I will pass the mic back to you, Mr. Kung Fu. And that was kind of my perspective on certain things.
Yeah, thank you for your input. I also just want to let some people know that there are people from other countries sex touring in the United States, and specifically in the state of Nevada, where it's legal to have a brothel, but street prostitution is still illegal. Absent of, if I can remember, 5 counties in the state of Nevada, you're not allowed to have a brothel. Carson City being the capital is one of them. They will actually come to the United States, and it's illegal here for somebody to do the same thing, as it'd be illegal for Americans to go to Kenya or Colombia or wherever else to do that exact same thing. However, if they go to Nevada and they go through a licensed brothel, then it's not illegal. There's always this slippery slope. Same thing with Amsterdam. They got the red light district, like you were talking about. It's the same thing, but those are far and few in between as far as where those places are around the world, because I've checked it out years ago on this whole subject, probably like 19 years ago. And the reason why I looked it up is because the first time I went to Kenya and I went to Mombasa Beach, I didn't like what I saw on the beach. Majority of people there that were visiting were definitely there visiting, but there were definitely some characters there that, I knew what they were there for. And these were predators coming there to spend their money to take advantage of women in poverty. And unfortunately, that's something that happens. I mean, America is chock full of prostitutes and has been. I'm 55 years old. Prostitutes are everywhere. This is a prostitution country, even though it's illegal. The thing is, when I first went to Kenya and I saw prostitutes try to approach me, I didn't even think they were prostitutes. I thought they were normal women because they were dressed like decent and everything like that. I had to be told by somebody that that's a prostitute. And I was like telling that guy, I was like, hey, in America, a prostitute, they look like they're burnt out. They got tracks on their arms from shooting up drugs. I was giving the whole story, and I was just totally shocked. But the thing is, prostitution is prostitution. It doesn't benefit any country for men to come within the local society or from another country into that society and hire women for prostitution, because every one of these women has some type of issue. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it in the first place. And if they had a better choice in their lives, for a lot of them, they wouldn't be doing prostitution whatsoever. So prostitution I can't agree with, somebody pays for it. And as long as they're not messing with kids or anything like that. Adults are adults and they're still humans and they have lives. They were kids at one time. And a lot of them have kids and they have to go home to their kids and take care of their kids based on making a living off of prostitution. And I've never met a happy prostitute in my entire life, anywhere in the world, no matter what country. And you hear the stories and the interviews and everything, it's always a dramatic scene for these people. And so when people, I find it a little disheartening, a little more when somebody takes their passport and goes to someone else's country and then takes advantage compared to them taking advantage of a woman locally, because that person still, even locally, if they had a better choice, if they have control of themselves and they weren't on drugs, because a lot of them are on drugs, and I'm not saying all of them are on drugs, they wouldn't be doing that. And we always have to go back to, the basics of this. That woman who's a prostitute could be somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. That's a human being at the end of the day. And one thing about sex tourists, passport bros, whatever they want to name themselves, when you're going for prostitution in Kenya, just be warned. Kenyans will back up a Kenyan, even if they're a prostitute. With this lady who's a prostitute who didn't agree to be on video with Jay Rello, Kenyans came after Jay Rello for the simple fact that she's a Kenyan. They don't care about her past at that point. They don't like her doing prostitution, but they don't care about her past, because what they see and how they see it is that you're abusing one of us. We welcome you. We want good people to come to our country, you know, that type of stuff. But once you do something like that, all deals are off the table. KLA, do you want to go ahead and kind of explain the culture of supporting Kenyans in situations like this? Because you're the resident Kenyan, so
definitely you are actually very right that you know it could happen that this Rello comes in and does whatever he did, and people will not be happy about it, and actually people will turn around and support the Kenyan at that particular time, even if the Kenyan will be let's say not 100% correct, but they will be saying this is not supposed to be happening to our own person. And you know, this is the same thing, just like how Rello raised the $5,000 to get into Kenya. The same thing could happen from the Kenyan side, where the Kenyans always get together and raise money for, you know, issues that are in the country. So we normally have a unifying community. And actually, he has now noticed, even in the video that he did live yesterday with Razor, he has noticed that this is a very neat, well community. They know each other. They know to words could get easily, you know, just a blink of a second, the word will be out there, and you people know what's happening. So right now is I think he should be getting a little bit careful with how he's trading.
I wanna say something that you brought up, Mr. Kung Fu, and in reference to the ladies of the evening, whether they be here or abroad, in terms of the guys taking advantage of them. It's funny because I've heard people say that, not just about hookers, but I heard people talk like that on many different levels when it comes to a lot of these females. But no one, I mean, at least in America anyway, other people, they kind of hold women accountable, and men, we're real little soft over here in the USA, I'm gonna be honest. No one ever takes into account that the women are, in a lot of cases, taking advantage of the men. And allow me to explain.
I agree.
No one ever looked at the fact that, hey, she's using her beauty, her body, to lure that poor, desperate man who can't find a woman or ain't got a wife, or maybe he can find a woman. Maybe that's because that's not everybody's situation that chooses to deal with them. But nevertheless, let's say for the guys who are desperate and they just looking for love, and the only way they can get any physical intimacy is through those type of women. Okay, you have to also look at the fact that she's using her natural body, her seduction skills, to lure him out of his finances, and she doesn't like anything about him or care nothing about him. So when you really look at that and break it down, both people come together for something. I feel like a fair exchange is no robbery, in my opinion. I can't look at it and say that she's being taken advantage of at the same time that she's taking advantage of him. At that moment, I'm looking at it like it's two adults making a fair exchange. Because, okay, hey, neither one of them may want to see each other past 30 minutes. But both, one is more of a need because you do need money to survive. But the other one has a strong physical urge for something at the moment, but it's not like he's going to die if he don't get it, but maybe a little miserable, but he's not going to die or he's not going to starve. But nevertheless, both parties are coming together because they're seeking something from one another. So I can't give her credit and say that she's just, unless she's a child, I cannot give her credit and say that she's being used and being taken advantage of if no one's forcing her to do it, because she's taking advantage of those poor, pathetic fellas that have a hard time finding a woman on certain occasions, or the elderly man that may just want someone to talk to, but he gives the IG model or whoever half his paycheck, and she thinks nothing of it. Guess what? She's not sad. She doesn't care. She doesn't bat an eye. So a lot of people are in predicaments now. it's a little bit different overseas because I understand survival for them is a lot different for survival for us over here in the United States. We were blessed with a little bit more opportunities than others. So I'm gonna go as far as to say, as far as the USA, even though times are hard everywhere, I'm not gonna give a woman in the USA no excuse to be in that limelight because we have a lot of programs here. But the women abroad, I go ahead and say, and still I'm not giving them the pass saying that no one's fully taking advantage of them because they're still seeking something secretly in their brain. But I will give them a little bit more of a pass because their economic system is set up differently than ours. We have like a land of opportunity situation going on over here in the United States. You know, so we have Section 8 for people. We have various programs. Now they may be getting cut short, but I think 2 years and a year and a half is way more than enough time to figure something out and get yourself together. So I can't totally give them that. I understand where you're coming from. I respect your perspective on that, but I cannot totally give them that they are just victims when little do people know a lot of these ladies victimize people more than anything, especially right here in the good old United States, because it's allowed. The laws permit for it over here. So it's a lot of victimization going on. Yeah, a few women get victimized on certain occasions, but financially, these men over here in America get railroaded. So the way that I see it, I don't think that there's nobody doing nothing no more than the other one is doing. And that's just my perspective. And I pass the mic back to you.
Right. I believe the same. I also believe the same that at this particular point is two consenting adults, but with different views or different perspective or different needs at that particular time when this video has been shot by the J Rello. So I honestly believe the woman was in need of the money and J Rello was in need of something else at that particular time, and it went south as it went. But I want to mention to say one. He said that I'm fighting J Rello at the moment, but I'm not talking about the Chinese man. So here's the fact. Like the last video or either two videos before this, I did a video of a British soldier who actually apparently abused and killed actually, or let's say, unalived the person who was actually in the same situation where J-Rello was. It's somewhat similar, but with the J-Rello, that is it's not that big of an issue than the one that the British soldier did. After unaliving the woman, they put her into the septic tank and left the and laughed about it. The government of from the United Kingdom was actually protecting the soldier. So it's really absurd. So we know there's to some point. I think that I need to be like in the Congress. I need to fight for a seat to get into Congress because there's some laws that it seems to be like not working to cut the perpetrators, because like literally, I know if it was in the United States, J Rello could be in big problem right at the moment. But you see, in Kenya, he's walking freely, and he will be passing by the police, and that could actually make him even worse than whatever he did. He realized that he's actually free, and the police can't do anything. So for me, that's scary. That's why we are having this discussion, say one. Because I believe there are many wrongdoings, and it doesn't have to be a black person or a black American. It has to do with people doing the wrong things in the country.
Yeah. So what I would say is, it seems to me that they would need to get a little bit more tougher on their laws over there or something of that nature, if they want to prevent guys like that. And it doesn't even have to be a guy. With someone taking a notice that a woman could come over there and do something crazy.
Sure.
So, I mean, you want to prevent people from coming over there and doing all type of crazy things and taking advantage on any type of level. So they will probably need to get a little bit tougher on certain things. And I would say there's got to be a way they can get Mr. J Rello out of there and see to it that he's never able to return back there again. There has to be something that they could possibly do. Now, what they can do, I don't know. I've never been to.
So I'll tell you what the law says. Yeah. So it is actually true that J Rello is on this. He has actually wronged the government, the state, the woman, and the people of the Republic of Kenya. So he has actually wronged the three persons of interest, and he's supposed to be subdued in court. But you see, the thing is, with the police will take up the case if the perpetrator.
KLA, your audio went out about 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, we're unable to hear you at this moment.
So in this place, the girl, and it could be any part of, and even me myself as a Kenyan, I could actually go to court and request that J Rello be arrested. So, and the thing is that process sometimes could be a little bit on the financial pain. Many Kenyans maybe will not take it seriously, because it's not escalated. So where the police could be subdued to take up on this case, if this continues online, people fighting on, and maybe to a point whereby, like at the moment, I know many people who know his address and they're actually monitoring his all moves. So if the security of J Rello will be at stake, then the police will come in to rescue him. So he'll be arrested on the grounds that he's been rescued. But during that time, so it means that during that time that he'll be taken in by the police, it means he's gonna serve the police custody. And in the next, because the Kenyan law says you cannot withhold somebody 24 hours, he needs to be presented in court. So if he'll be arrested around daytime, in the night, so it means the next morning he needs to be facing the magistrate, and that's where the case starts. So it's very hard. I know it's a little bit different, but that's the way the law is. It's not that rapid like America, whereby a wrong is a wrong and it needs to be solved that particular moment. In Kenya, they take the sweet time. Yeah, I know it's very hard to understand, but that's how it is.
Okay, man, I definitely understand it, but I'm going to get ready to run in a few, but I just wanted to kind of come on here and clarify some things, man. Traveling has been a very beautiful experience for me. I love foreign women. I love all types of foreign women. I do. I truly do. I have me a foreign relationship right now as I speak. But like I said, I have no issues with a man if he wants to go over there and partake with a lady of the evening. If he's honest with her and she's respectful, he's respectful, and they're grown. Personally have no problem with it because again, that's off U.S. soil. That's a different country. They have different cultures, beliefs, and customs that are different than ours. So I have no problem with nobody having fun. But I do have a problem with people being ignorant and misbehaving when they go places. And that is something that
point where he posts what he knows that could actually gain traction, people could talk. I think it was all intentional because in his yesterday's life he said that he stayed with the woman for almost 2 hours before she left. So it means it was all about Clout for him. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he wanted to take he wanted to be,
well, yeah, it's definitely about. It's definitely about cloud or attention for him, but I think he's just naturally ignorant from my observation.
Yeah,
and that's the real issue here. The natural ignorance and the fact that he's able to go around and display his ignorance in foreign land amongst people of different nations without showing any kind of remorse or any respect whatsoever. That is the issue that I take with this various situations that he's been presenting. But the one thing that I do want to say is hopefully they catch him. Hopefully he's brought to justice. Hopefully he's kicked out the country and never allowed to come again or do anything. And maybe hopefully one day he should be banned offline where he's not able to come online whatsoever and present any type of information to do anything else for any follower that he has. But yes, that's just a certain degree of ignorance that he has. And my whole thing that I wanted to say earlier like I was speaking about, was people are going to take that opportunity, and they're going to see people like that. Now, I'm speaking about the urban community. I can't speak in reference to Caucasian America, but I can speak for urban America. We have a lot of dysfunction going on amongst the males and the females, and especially when it comes to dating relationships and so on and so forth. So we have here in the United States individuals like that that's mating with a large percentage of the women. A large percentage of the women have children with men who behave in the way that he behaves and think the way that he thinks. Now, the guys that are traveling, whether they going over there to pay a woman or whether they want to go for a relationship, nevertheless, I'm not talking about any weirdos, but these are normal people that have had up to here and said, hey, man, I'm going to go somewhere else and date somebody else. I'm going to marry someone else. Or if I do seek adult entertainment, I'm going to go to another country where it's legal, where I think the women look better, and they'll be more appreciative for the money that's given and so on and so forth. I have no problem with that because I understand that this culture over here within urban American culture, it's a very toxic one. We have guys like that, and they're not the norm, but they get the most attention in our culture. And that is the problem because they're the ones plastered over the TV screen. He's the one that's look how long he's been discussed. Look, he's all over the internet and stuff like that. So the decent men that have channels and they're discussing something decent about traveling, that have a relationship and is married over there, they're not even getting the attention that this idiot is getting. And so that's the same thing back home with the dating culture. He has access to mate and have these women and so on and so forth. The normal guy in our society, that's not the case in most cases. I mean, some, but not the case for a lot. So that's part of the reason the men are saying, hey, because this is a bad culture, a bad situation, a bad deal that you're getting. Hey, I may need to pack up. I may need to travel, go see another nation. And not only am I getting a vacation, but hey, you can meet the love of your life or meet a girlfriend or fling whatever you want to, whatever you're, into, long as you're respectful. Hey, I'm happy for that, man, because we don't know what those men are going through. And, for me, travel is therapy. I've been traveling for a long time now, with family, and then I've traveled by myself before I even heard of a passport, bro, whatever it is. I've got my passport back in 2018, and I traveled to a country for the first time, and I don't even think I haven't heard of Passport Bros then. I don't even think it was out, at least on the internet amongst the United States. I have not heard of it then. So I went over then and discovered I liked foreign women a little bit better. It was my first time interacting with them because before then I was just only interacting with the people on my soil. But you never know what you like until you learn, something different that you're introduced to have the opportunity to like something else. So I would say that. So let's not always just look down on the fellas that are traveling, or as long as they're not doing anything bad. Let's just try to understand, okay, what's gotten them to that point to make them want to travel overseas and seek other options with other women and stuff like that. Now, sure, we can always throw out the term and say, hey, you're a loser, you're this, that, and the third. Okay, well, you have to define and tell us what makes that person a loser, by whose definition. And if that person is a loser here, why can't he go somewhere else and be somebody else's winner? Because a loser to a woman in the United States may be a winner to a woman in another foreign land. And I've seen that to be the case. So we have to sometimes get off our high horse where we feel as though we're superior to everybody because, for those of us who come from the United States and look at it like, well, hey, if you're not able to get no one here, if you're not getting with anyone here, then you're some type of loser, as if other people in other parts of the world don't matter, as if they're not important, as if you having a relationship with someone that comes from somewhere else, it doesn't add up, or it doesn't count. And nothing could be further from the truth. They're a human being just like you're a human being. You just come from two different parts of the world. Just like there's no race better than the other. So a lot of people have to get that understanding. So that's the thing right there. And I think what we are dealing with here is just, it's simple jealousy and anger on the women's parts. Because like my buddy Carlos said before he left, a lot of these women, particularly in the urban community, I can't speak for Caucasian America, but urban America, they were looking to take advantage of certain facets of men that they didn't see as a valuable option for a relationship or friendship or anything of that nature. And those men kind of upset them by saying, hey, they've discovered the opportunity to date, be with, marry, or have a fling with other women in other parts of the world. They don't have to talk to you for a fling no more. They don't have to attempt to date you no more if you don't want to date. They don't have to ask you for marriage if the laws are bad or if you never wanted to marry them, or whatever the case may be. Basically, they don't need that from you anymore. So they're getting that from other women that look a lot better, who are a lot more appreciative, and they're having homes, they're starting families, a lot of them. Some people just have relationships, some people just have flings, but nevertheless, whatever they have, I'm for pro happiness. I'm all about people being happy, and as long as those men are happy, I feel like that's a safer society right there. If you have a lot of angry men, man, that's going to be a dangerous society to reside in. But I do know the presence of a woman, and let's just be honest. Some romantic dealings can put a smile on a man's face and calm a man down. Also, for a woman, makes her a lot happier when she knows she's being taken care of, or she's around a man that can provide. I will say this: a lot of American men are able to take their resources, and they have taken their resources to other countries, and they have been of a phenomenal help to the women of other nations. And not only the women, those women have family members. So of course she's sharing with a family, and some guys that travel, they're looking out for their relatives as well. They're not only just doing nice things for the woman. She might have little brothers and sisters and stuff. And I've seen all types of cases. I know me personally, when I travel, I have female friends abroad. They don't per se ask me for nothing, but I just volunteer sometimes and give them things. And I've been able to be that blessing for them, you know. So it's so many different things that people could walk away from this situation and wonder about. But it's pushed in a negative way by, honestly, people who were looking to take advantage and make fun of people, or they how can I put this? They were enjoying the moment of seeing other people unhappy. And I pass the mic after that.
What you got to say, Kufu?
You can hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
So me and KLA did a live stream with a Kenyan lawyer a couple of years back regarding JT, the bigger figure who got himself in trouble in Kenya. Not for the same reasons, but she had mentioned something in a live stream that we did. And the way it is, like with the police, a lot of times in Kenya, it's like you almost have to pay them a lot of times to go and actually do their job. The thing is, what she said that really stuck out, and I think it's pretty much just anywhere, is that if you're a foreigner and you get arrested by the police and they have to take your biometrics, deportation is going to be on its way, that you can never come back to the country. And for somebody who really likes going to a certain place all the time, like you have some men that just constantly are going to Brazil, some men that are constantly going to Argentina, Mexico, or whatever. I mean, they should really think about that, because I would think if that's the case in Kenya, that would be the case also in a lot of these other countries. And I think the other thing, and I'm not supporting this, but the thing is that if you're a YouTuber or you're on some other type of social platform and you're filming or you're logging in with posts about the activities that you're doing, that's obviously illegal in some cases, advertising it is only going to get you in trouble. Now, I have to say this about YouTube in particular. Over the years, because I've tested YouTube, I've always wanted to test like the community guidelines of what YouTube will actually do. Will they actually follow their own rules or not? And I've found out in many cases they will not. I have reported so many videos that I've come across that were actually pornographic and reported it, and they didn't delete the video. I've also found many of channels that promote sex tourism, and they did not delete those channels, except for one. And this one particular one was different from all the rest. Now, the guy that had that channel that was removed that I reported, he never showed a single photo. He never showed a single video as far as people are concerned. What he showed in his videos was text. And in the information, it was just an informational video with text that you have to read. You have to pause the video and read it. He would say the do's and don'ts on how not to get caught when you go to Mexico, how not to get caught when you go to America, how not to get caught when you go to Kenya for sex tourism. And so when they took that one down, it had to make me think that YouTube is willing to go ahead and let a lot of these channels just slide right on by. But if they're too informative, like this guy, like he was highly detailed, and I actually tracked him back, and he was a very, well, as far as I can tell, a very rich, very wealthy man somewhere in, I think, Germany. What the information he was giving, the exact law codes and all that stuff in these videos was just very meticulous. And I think that's the reason why they took it down. So what I'm saying is, if I reported over the years 100 different channels based off the same thing, and they only took one down, and that was the only difference, that his videos were totally different, there's something about his videos that I guess could get them in trouble with the FCC. I don't know. But at this point, it also makes me wonder, what is the real motive behind social platforms like YouTube and their responsibility in all this? I've also found, YouTube has a policy about violence on video on their channel, but yet you can report so many of the violent videos that you see out there, and they will not take those violent videos down after you report them. They may put it in adult-only content, basically, can't be monetized or whatever, but still they don't follow their own rules and guidelines that they set forth for everybody. And that's it.
Carlos, you can come in.
Wow, that's interesting. Was he able to say all that without saying password, bro? That's interesting. That's very interesting. He was
he had to, Carlos. He didn't want to offend you anymore.
Well, why would he say it in the first place?
Let it go, Carlos. Let's say it.
See, people like him are dangerous. They throw out rhetoric. They want to, okay, I want to smear this guy's name. I'm going to sneak his name into the conversation, even though he has nothing to do with it. That's low down and evil. But I'm going to let it go. But what I wanted to say earlier was that, now for the record, the Passport Bro name did not come about until around 2016, 2017. And that was basically a group of men who were sick and tired of the toxic dating culture in America. Now, it was the Passport Bros and there was the Mongers. Now, once the Passport Bro name became big, the Mongers started calling themselves Passport Bros too. And people who were against Passport Bros from day one used that to their advantage to attack all of us. Okay? Mostly Black American women. All right? And they have been, every time Jay Rello does something stupid, oh, that's the Passport Bros. All right? Even though Jay Rello has time and time again said, I am not a Passport Bro. Passport Bro does not mean sex tourist. That's the definition the Black American women came up with to attack the group of men that was leaving the whole dating scene in America. That's where that came from. So this BS that, oh, it was started by Europeans 15 years ago and it meant sex tourism, that's a bold-faced lie. I'm not sure where he got that from. That's the first time I'm hearing about it. But that was very interesting. Now, Kung Fu is very articulate, but just because someone's articulate doesn't mean they're telling the whole truth. Okay? They always want to throw a little bit of rhetoric in there. All right? Because men were sick and tired of the toxic dating culture. All right? Now, do you know what I mean when I say toxic dating culture in America?
I do.
Okay, are you Black American or white? Or white American?
White people don't exist. I'm Caucasian.
Okay, Caucasian American. Okay. All right. What do you know about the toxic dating culture in Black America?
It's no different than it's no.
So that's why you don't sympathize with our situation, because you don't understand what we're going through. That's what this is all about. You don't understand what we're going through.
So now you want to bring color into this. Is that what it is?
I don't like bringing color.
Then why did you bring it up? Why did you bring it up? Why did you bring it up?
Understand something.
Why did you bring it up? If you weren't referencing that, why did you bring it up?
Why do you keep bringing up the name Pastor Bro when we were talking about Jay Rello behavior? Why do you keep bringing up the name Pastor Bro? You keep doing it. You sneaked it in at the very end. Remember? So
because I know exactly what it means. You don't.
No. Let me finish. Kung Fu Man. It's okay for you to do it, but not okay for me to do it. See, you didn't like that, did you? You didn't like it. So now you see how I feel. You fell right into it.
Fell right into what?
You don't want me bringing up YT people? I don't want you bringing up Passport Bros.
Well, I could bring up Passport Bros all I want to.
Okay, and
because you only heard the term since 2016.
Why have so many YT people gone to Kenya and done egregious things over there? And I have African female friends who have told me about some horrible things they did. Horrible things. But I chose not to smear all white people. But you chose to smear all Passport Bros. Understand?
That's because I know what the definition is.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, you're being very childish.
No, sir, you're being very childish because the name Passport Bro came around in 2016, something like that.
No, it came out long before that.
Okay. Give me the
You're uneducated about the term.
I have a college degree.
That doesn't mean you're educated about that term.
I graduated 20 years ago from the university.
So did your college teach you about passport broing? Do you have a degree in passport broing?
What came up.
So your community college, does it teach you about passport broing? Do they have a course in passport broing?
Many of them was criminal justice classes. No, it never came up because you made it up.
No, I didn't make it up. It was made up by Europeans.
Yes, you did, sir. Oh, yes, you did. You're being very childish, sir. You're making it up. Give me the source of when this name Passport Bro came up first. Give me the source, sir. Quote me the source. You can't just speak articulately and not have a source. You don't, do you? This is what someone told you, and you ran with it.
No, this is something that I read. This is something that. Okay, Mr. Interruption.
No. Okay, let me get back to what I was originally trying to talk about. Okay, now in the Black American community, the dating culture is toxic, very toxic, where a lot of the women are dating bad boys, criminals, and all sorts of things. Whereas the good guys are pretty much shunned in the culture. So they decided, okay, we're going to go someplace else where we are appreciated, where we are welcome, where we are the number one choice for the women. So we went where we were appreciated. And some of those men call themselves Passport Bros. Now, the Mongers decided to call themselves Passport Bros, and people like this Kung Fu dude are trying to take advantage of it to smear all of our names. That is so evil. And you said it's childish? No, it's not, sir. How old are you, sir?
Obviously older than you.
How old are you, sir?
55.
No, we're around the same age, sir. Where do you go to university at?
I didn't go to university.
Oh, that figures. That makes a lot of sense now.
But I can see where your university education got you.
Oh, yeah, it got me a nice house. I live in a very nice neighborhood. Had a very nice job in the military. Have a very nice job with the U.S. government. Now I'm retired. So where did your non-education give you? What did it give you?
Who said I was uneducated? Who said I was uneducated?
You said you didn't went to college. You said you didn't went to college or university.
No, I went to college, but I didn't go to university.
Oh, you didn't go to university. So you served. You went 2 years.
Yeah, I did.
And a degree in what?
I didn't go for degree.
Propaganda? What's your degree in? Propaganda?
No, I wasn't going for a degree.
So you were just in there wasting your time, right?
No, I didn't waste my time at all. I got a lot out of it.
You have wasted your time because you couldn't even cite the source.
Not everything in college is about a degree. You know that, right?
Okay.
An educated man should have known that.
Sir, that's your opinion.
Oh.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Let me finish. I am not going to waste my time unless I'm getting a degree in something. Now, you said that you don't care. You just want to get a little bit of education. That's fine. That's cool. But I don't agree with that. And you got to live with it. I do not respect people who spew out rhetoric. Here you are spewing people that you don't even know.
You're spewing out rhetoric because you don't even know what the definition is. You're trying to coin a definition that doesn't even belong to the title.
You don't know what the definition is. Why don't you come into my platform? We can discuss your source, where you got this from, because what I know is that as soon as the name
I went to your channel, and my opinion, your channel is trash.
Why are you interrupting me? Why are you just interrupting me?
You interrupt me plenty of times. Your channel, to me, in my opinion, is trash. I went there to visit, and I seen what you're talking about. It's trash to me, so I wouldn't even waste my time.
Your opinion is trash to me because it's rhetoric.
That's fine.
Well,
whatever you think.
I just say that all YT people who went to college and didn't get a degree are bad people. I can just throw out rhetoric about that. Would that be
so?
Right?
All YouTube people that went to didn't get a degree in college are bad people. YT YouTubers. YT meaning YouTube. YT meaning YouTube.
No, YT means white people. That's an abbreviation of YT.
Oh no! Actually, first it meant YouTube. So that's a new one.
I'm talking about what they're using that term for now. But anyway,
okay. Just like Passport Bros, what they're using that term for now is not the original.
You're more than welcome to come to my live stream.
I'm not going to come to a platform that I believe is nothing but trash.
No, it's not going to be about trash. It's going to be about.
But it is according to me. According to what I see, it's trash.
Me to even finish what I was going to say. Now I understand that you're mad that American men are dating overseas. I'm not sure why you're mad, but you want to call.
No, I'm not mad at all. I actually support it as long as they're not buying prostitution. As long as they're not buying into prostitution, I support it all day long.
Okay, fine. You know the original Passport Bros,
which are in Europe, which come from Europe.
No, not your definition. We're not going your definition because until I see the source, I'm not going to believe you because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. All right. Our definition of Passport, I remember the guys when they first came up with the term, and they were tired of dating in America because it was so toxic. Most of the women prefer bad boys and criminals, and guys got tired of it. So we're gonna go someplace else, and that's what we did. And the women got mad because they no longer had access to our resources, and then they came after us with this rhetoric about Passport Bros this or Passport Bros that. Now I'm not sure where you're coming out of left field because you're not even part of the community. So I'm not sure what your agenda is and what your motivation is. But as far as I know, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. But I'm willing to listen to what you got to say as soon as you see me a source of this information you claim, because this is the first time I'm hearing this. Now, we both around the same age, 55. Now, I'm pretty sure you're mature enough to get your source, right? Just send it to me. Prove me wrong. Because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. And for the record of the audience, most Black American men, Pastor Bro or not, denounce this guy, Jay Rello. He is garbage. He is trash. That's what this conversation should be about. But thanks to Kung Fu Man, it started talking about Passport Bros. This has nothing to do with Passport Bros. This is about Jay Rello's.
Just about every video on Jay Rello, just about every video that people have done on Jay Rello has called him a Passport Bro. So you only have a problem about me calling him a Passport Bro? What about everybody else? What about all the Kenyans calling him a Passport Bro?
Jay Rello has never, you know that, right? Jay Rello has never called himself a Passport Bro. He recently said it like the 100th time, I'm not a Passport Bro. I'm just going overseas and getting some content so I can make some money.
Well, most people like you and him don't even know the real definition. So what does it matter?
God, please.
But I'm going to go ahead and entertain you on one thing. I'm going to entertain you on one thing.
Send me the source.
I'm going to entertain you on that. I'm going to entertain you on that.
This is the first time I heard this. Send me your source.
You ready?
Where? Yes. The State Department.
So a few years ago, the same conversation with somebody else about just like you defending that title.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hold on. No. See, no. Listen.
Apparently, we're not going to agree. But we should
because you don't want to listen because you had
antics. That's what we should be talking about. But you like to sneak that word passport bro in there every single chance you get, don't you?
And you like to not hear things.
And you like to slip that passport bro name in there every single chance you get. Every single chance you get.
Have you been a broken record for your whole life?
Oh God, please, dude.
Is your reputation nothing but a broken record?
Sir, you're a broken record because you're obsessed with the name passport bro.
No, I'm not obsessed. Obviously, you are because you're so emotional about it.
This conversation has nothing to do with it. The whole topic has nothing to do with it. This has something.
It's like you're almost ready to cry about the definition of the passport, bro.
Traveling Pookie, who's a degenerate. That's what this whole thing is about.
You know what? I had the perfect platform for you. I have the perfect platform for you.
For the name passport, bro.
Go to the Afrodamus report and talk to him. Yeah, the Afrodamus, kind of like Notre Dame, Afrodamus. So like Africa, but Damus. Afrodamus. He would love to talk to you.
Oh, this is an individual. I'm okay. You know what? You're a clown. You're a clown. You're a clown. I asked you several times. Give me your source.
Ad hominem. Okay.
You can't give me a source because you made it up. Or you heard about it from someone and you didn't check.
So, like I said, I'll entertain you about the source. I'll entertain you about the source. But you see, you don't want to hear about the source. You don't want to hear about it.
Tell me. Right? I'm asking you. Give me the source for it, and I will apologize.
Okay, so I'm going to entertain you. But see, you don't want to listen because you keep talking. Because you keep talking. So you're not going to be able to listen. So you're not going to find out what I was going to say.
Damn, you made me forget what I was going to say because you kept interrupting me.
Oh, damn, that was easy.
Yeah, it was easy because you're annoying. Give me your source. That's all I ask is to give me your source.
Having the same conversation about 5 years ago, person asked me for the source like you. So I went to go try to trace back that source from about 20 years ago. Couldn't find it. Why? And there was a couple multiple sources back then. These were on forums. Forums are not very popular today. And listen to me. Listen to me.
Oh, and
this is hilarious, right?
Conveniently disappeared. So you can just make
I don't think they disappeared at all. I just think they're very obscure.
Give me the source then. Give me the source. Prove it.
When I looked this up about 20 years ago, I didn't have an interest of cataloging what I was finding.
Okay.
I was trying to find out.
You claim you saw something 20 years ago.
I read, listened to conversations, read conversations between these guys who call themselves passport bros, who are from Europe,
Okay. Then I would agree with you. Then you saw something written 20 years ago. But does that mean that the people who came up with the name had any knowledge of this?
If they came up with the name, don't you think they would have knowledge of it because they came up with the name?
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You said you saw the word passport bro being called about people 20 years ago who was doing sex tourism. Okay, I give you.
No, not about being calling themselves passport bros. They were calling themselves passport bros. Do you articulate what it is that I'm saying? No, you don't. Oh, okay, I understand. You don't articulate.
How do you know that?
That's where your college education got you. You can't articulate. Did you get a degree in basket weaving? Is that what your degree is about?
It was illegal studies, sir.
Okay. Illegal basket weaving studies or what?
No. It's a more degrees than you have.
Probably, and I don't care.
You have, sir.
That's great. I don't care.
But see, you're talking about something you claim you read 20 years ago that you cannot bring up or something because it was written down or something or whatever. I don't know. Well, anyway, What I'm saying is,
so the thing is that I read the conversations between these guys. I read the conversations, so I know it's out there.
One point.
Since I didn't keep track of it, I don't know where to source it because it's not something I ever thought I would be talking about 20 years later.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying, sir. You said you saw something 20 years ago, and you feel that they're still using that word today. You know, sometimes things change. Sometimes words change. Sometimes the meaning of words change.
Do you understand jargon? Do you understand jargon?
Dude, please let me speak. Okay, just like the word coon meant something totally different than it does today. So, okay, somebody used the name Passport Bro 20 years ago. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, even though you don't have any proof of this. What makes you think that these guys of today knew about that book that you read 20 years ago? They probably didn't. Does the government use this word? No, they do not. All it is just a bunch of people who want to spew rhetoric against men who choose not to date in America anymore. Now, the original Passport Bros, man who started calling them Passport Bros in around 2016, they stopped calling themselves by that name because so many mongers started calling themselves Passport Bros, and they didn't want to be associated with those mongers. All right, but there's still a lot of those good men who still call themselves Passport Bros, and I feel it's very unfair for you to try to smear all these men who didn't do a damn thing wrong. Don't you think that's not fair? Hello, Kung Fu Man, is that fair? No, it's not. And if you say anything about me, I will sue you for slander.
Are you listening?
Are you listening? If
okay.
You make any act, well,
let
me make this clear. Let me make
are you listening? I don't smear. Look,
make this one last
I speak gibberish too.
Yeah, see, that's what happens when they start losing an argument. They act like that.
No, you lost the argument because you keep interrupting, and you don't want to hear anything. You want to actually only control the narrative.
20 years ago, and then you trying to say that's what the government says, that's what these people say, and that's what everybody says.
What I read 20 years ago was posted more than 20 years ago. What I read 20 years ago was posted more than 20 years ago.
Okay, 40 years ago.
I don't think it was 40 years ago. More like 25, 30 years ago. 25, 30, somewhere in there.
Doesn't matter. That's not the point, sir. You don't get it.
I get it. You don't get it.
No, you don't.
See, the thing is, you're infatuated with the title, Passport Bro. You're infatuated with the title. It sounds cool to you, so you want to use it. You want to continue to use it because you think you know where it came from, and it sounds cool, so you want to use the term.
Jay Rello, and only him.
Jay Rello doesn't even know what it means.
Jay Rello instead of Passport Bros, people you don't even know and never even met. We need to stick to the topic of Jay Rello.
Actually, KLA, what is this topic about to you? Like, why did you bring it up?
Yeah, I just brought it up because, he did a live yesterday and he went aboard to explain the whole situation, and it kind of like his explanation, even people didn't borrow it because he said the woman hit him by the chest, it clapped on his chest. So, and he was wearing a t-shirt. So people are like, if you're wearing a t-shirt, it couldn't be that loud. So people are intended that he might be the one who maybe touched the woman. And he kept on again abusing Kenya, trying to put Kenya down, and Kenyans are not having it. And one of my friend, Nairobi teacher, was actually joining. He had been requesting to join the live stream. So yeah.
Okay. Now, okay.
So, but KLA. But is this? Do you want this live? Okay, but I asked the question. I asked the question, and got a reply. So I have another question, follow-up question for that.
Okay, go ahead.
So that was the reason why. But is it for you, KLA? Do you only want it to be about Jay Rello, or do you want to expand beyond Jay Rello? for this live stream.
I wanted it to be expanded beyond J Rello in the risk perspective about the same incident that he did in Kenya. And I think, to be fair enough, you came and said this was started way before, and me being a Kenyan, being raised in Kenya in a particular city that is infested by sex tourism, and it got to a problem whereby even the government had to put some measures, and this is way back in the 90s. So this is not something new, but whatever we are seeing with J Rello is just the tip of what is yet to come. And in this channel we've predicted many things that have come to pass. Right. We've seen things. We've been warning people like this will escalate to something. We predicted
Okay.
I remember we talked about this, and that this would one day come out like this. There's going to be a video, and here's the video.
I don't think it's a big issue. I have a fear that a bigger issue is coming, and this will be a very big mess. Like this will make it even worse. Whatever we are talking about, J Rello, these are two adults consenting, and one said no, so it should have ended there, and that video should not have been posted. But I believe by that action and him walking free, that is gonna cause a lot of problems in the near future. And,
I agree.
And actually, in the comment section, I think that was J Travels. Thank you, J Travels. Said there is somebody coming, and it's even worse than Jaden. I was like, oh, there you go.
Well, okay, now these traveling pookies, who they've been going to other countries and causing problems too. And I recognized these individuals back in 2015 when they came to my Facebook group, and they were saying all sorts of crazy things. And I said, dude, no, just because it's patriarchal doesn't mean you can just do anything you want. You got to respect the country, the culture, the people. And these clowns did not listen to a word I said. They mocked and ridiculed me, saying that I was a cornball, lame, corny, or whatever. And I was too much, too the good shoes, or whatever you want to call it. And I was trying to tell them, you cannot do that, man. You're going to make us look bad. But they didn't care. But some of those individuals eventually made their way to Africa, and many of them did end up in jail. All sorts of bad things happened to them. Now, J Rello, he's very consistent. He's been doing this for the past 4 years, and all the pastor bros I know have denounced him and don't want nothing to do with them. And and how he got away with it, I don't know. But I feel that if Kenyans punish him severely, then those type of clowns will not come to your country. You don't have to worry about those clowns coming to your country if J Rello is severely punished. I firmly believe it, because that's going to scare them away. That's going to scare the clowns away. I've been going to Nairobi, Kenya for past on and off for past 10 years, 15 times, no problems, because I obey the laws and I respect the country, the culture, and the people. I feel that most Black Americans who go there respect the country, the culture, and the people. But unfortunately, we have some knuckleheads within the community that get their way over there too. So that's what we are denouncing, and we don't want any part of this. Okay, and we understand that who these people are. We don't just use some word that we heard 20 years ago in a book or something read in a book. We go on what's going on right now today. And J Rello, he is who he is, and we've been denouncing him, and he's pretty much has attacked Pastor Bros because we kept attacking him. So he's gonna get his. He's gonna get his, because he keeps bringing these women over to his place, and then they find out about him, and then they go back and tell everybody where he lives. Is that not true? Because they know where he lives, right? They know exactly.
Yeah, they know. I know many Kenyans who already are actually on his tabs. Like, if he gets out, they know he's gotten out. It's really sick. For me, trust me, I really don't support it. But that's the nature of how things happen in life. Anything could go wrong in it. But the good thing is that it's not going to go that bad on him to a point whereby it will be devastating, or it will bring some negative. It just be like putting him on check. And I think somebody said even Austin was put in check by some gentleman in Nairobi. and I think that's why you have a flip of what you see from today's Austin behavior. Yeah,
right. And I just want to make it clear, okay? And
you said you've been to Kenya in one place, particularly.
I've been there lots of times.
Where?
Okay,
Give
mostly in
me
the Kilimani
places.
area. Mostly in the Kilimani area. I stay in that area.
That's
I have
so
a lot of Kenyan friends. Right.
So you've only to be in Nairobi?
Excuse me?
You've only been in Nairobi, yeah?
As far as Kenya, I've been to Mombasa. I was invited to a wedding in the Kamba region.
Oh
Kitui.
Yeah.
That was my first time in Kenya. I was invited to a wedding, and I fell in love with the country. I've been going back ever since. And
it's good that you brought it up, because I want to ask you some questions. When you were in Mombasa, did you see something fishy along the beach?
I ran into this individual.
Let me just be open. We are not hiding, and Kufu knows about it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Did you see anything funny about old men trying to get along with young girls who are Kenyans?
Well, actually, I saw something else. I saw these old women with these beach bums.
Yeah, with the rivers. It's the rivers. It's either the old men with the young girls, or the young boys with the old women. And that is where we are crying that it doesn't have to be our brothers taking this route. That's why I'm
right now. I did a video on one of them. I call it "Green Card Bro is angry because American one won't give him money," and this guy was such a clown. He was saying that he was done with Black American women because they weren't giving him money. Okay, because Black American women were going there for their sex tourism, but they wasn't giving him money, and he was getting mad. So he was looking for a white woman that was going to give him money, because they're more likely to give you money. So I thought that was a very interesting, and this guy is a bum. And none of the local Kenyan women would give this guy a time of day. But these American women are having relationships with these bums. I find that very interesting. Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's sad, ain't it? These Black American women are having relationships with these beach bums, and these European white women are also having relationships with these beach bums.
And that's my fear. So that's when I say, well, whatever Rello actually did, or actually is continuing doing, because he's actually doing it, it's inviting those things. And in particular, I want to deviate a little bit from Rello. There's somebody who is also a Kenyan, has been inviting this kind of behavior. And we've been against it for a very long time, to a point whereby we just got tired about it. And we like, if you find it to be something that you really enjoy, you do it. At the end of the day, you will know that what we said, because we predicted a lot of stuff and things have come to happen. And this is the real fear about it. On the record, I hope you're not a passport bro. You don't recognize yourself as one.
Well, I don't.
Because you literally travel for love, and it doesn't mean you're a passport bro. It's just like you fall in love with that place.
It's like you're redefining what a passport bro is. A passport bro can go to another country for love or a relationship or marriage. Please stop associating it strictly with the sex tourists, because the mongers. That's why the conversation I had with Kung Fu Man. The mongers started calling themselves passport bros too. So if the good guys started calling themselves passport bros in the beginning, and then the mongers started calling themselves passport bros. Those were the guys who were going to places like Sosua, which is a sex tourism hotspot in the Dominican Republic. And they started calling themselves passport bros. The weekend warriors, guys who they go down there for the weekend, and they just party and just act the fool.
Then it has to be.
That's why we need to be careful as to distinguishing a difference between the two, because you got people who want to smear all of our names, and we can't allow that. Okay, we just can't allow that.
I think then it has to be, like the way I'm standing on business about Kenya, I'm trying to keep Kenya clean. I think it has to be upon the passport bros to say, this is not passport broing, but this is passport booking,
Right. Well, they've been saying it for 4 years, but
I think you need to.
Nobody's listening.
You need to.
They've been saying it. I mean, they say it all the time. Every single chance they get, they say it. But then we got people like Kung Fu Man who spew out this rhetoric that's just, you know, it sounds articulate, but it's false. Now,
no, but that's
after me digging,
but you know,
after me digging for his sources, he tells me he read about it 20 years ago in a book.
I didn't say a book. I said online.
Online, okay, 20. Oh yeah, everything you see online.
That's why I said forums. That's why I said forums.
I see what's going on, because when we had to do papers for class, they said do not go online for sources because none of that is reliable. None of it is reliable. Okay.
Right, but these were criminals calling themselves passport bros.
So for you to say that, you see, you just proved my point right there. You lost.
But these were criminals calling themselves passport bros. So why would they do that?
Okay, so you think that those criminals know the people that I know in 2016?
Most likely not.
Of course not. Because how do they know what a bunch of criminals called themselves 20 years ago? You see what I'm saying? Okay, you lost the argument. Okay, now what are we going to do?
No, there was no argument to lose.
So what are we going to do about Jay Rello? Okay. I'm against vigilante justice, okay? All right, I'm not encouraging vigilante justice. Hopefully law enforcement gets involved. Do you think law enforcement will get involved? Or are they going to, or they need to be bribed? Killer.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you think law enforcement needs to be involved, or you think it's going to be vigilante justice?
Yeah, I wouldn't want a vigilante justice. I would want the law enforcement to be involved, because with the vigilante in Kenya, it could get ugly, and it may not be even a good picture for us as Kenyans.
Yeah, so law enforcement needs to get involved immediately,
And this particular point is where I will request the girl who has been offended to actually take this matter up, to save, because he literally has. If she does that, she has saved General a lot of problems that would have easily been solved by him being arrested than a vigilante happening on him.
Now Jay Rello is claiming that he didn't slap her. Okay. Now, has this woman came forward?
No, we don't know about the whereabouts of the woman. We don't know the whole story. We know only the story from Jay Rello. We don't know the story from the woman. We need to hear from the both sides, I think, to be fair enough.
Okay.
That's why I'm very much not going so hard on Jay Rello, because I do not know the whole story about it. We need to get the footage from the woman, because she's also recording. So we need some,
Well, I wouldn't put anything past a Pookie. So okay, let me tell you exactly. Let's go through exactly.
But for that matter, when he said he slapped, that's when I realized he lied. Because if he was wearing a shirt, that couldn't make that noise. A lot of people agree to that.
Right. Yeah. And one of his supporters came at me and said, well, you're slandering him because you don't have any proof. I'm saying, well, I'm not saying what he did or he didn't. I'm just saying what it sounded like to me. Okay. I'm just saying, I didn't say he did or he didn't. I'm just covering myself. I'm just saying that's what it sounded like, a slap across the face. That's what it sounded like. Now,
Carlos, I would just want to ask you one question regarding the topic of today. So do you think Jay Rello was hiding after the incident?
I think he's hiding in his Airbnb. He's going to lay low and live off the little money he has left until Friday and try to take off by plane. I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, because he came yesterday on the Life with Razor, and he was boasting himself about he's the real deal. Everyone is making videos about him. He's not scared of anything, But I genuinely, I do not know how Americans react personally, like from within. I do not know the whole vibe about it. But I felt that he was a little bit scared because he was trending online. Like in Kenya, if you trend online, you trend online for some time, to a point whereby you see Austin greatness going on live, trying to, like everyone trying to fight the whole issue with Jay Rello. Yeah, I think he was a little bit scared, and with also Austin also did a mistake. He said they could also do a vigilante. He suggested a vigilante on him, that they don't need to do police, which I think that was actually very wrong. And that's why when you hear Kofu say all of them they're in the same boat, and you even hear Kobe saying they're all in the same boat, because this is a behavior we do not entertain. And I think that's the reason why the government had to suspend the visa extension, because you could come into the country for 90 days and still extend for another 90 days. You know?
Right.
So
See,
now
right. It's people like Jay Rello that creates this problem. And that's why the government has to do this. And that's another reason. That's of many reasons why I hate this person, Jay Rello. I mean, we told this dude, please stop it. But he kept on doing it and kept on getting away with it. So, and then I'm seeing Kenyans trying to blame me for this. Like, well, you haven't done nothing about this. Like, what am I to do? I'm not in law enforcement. I'm just a person on the internet.
Yeah, because you know, basically what happened. The government had decided to allow everybody to be visa free from any part of the continent, because I don't know. They say the oldest fossil is found in Kenya, in Turkana area, and it seems to be like the haplogen. I don't know. EU1 something happens to be the oldest is from Kenya. So they say every human being, either white, either black, you're all Kenyan. So we should not allow. We should not be taking visas. Feed from you. And I don't know who advised the government and told them you could be allowing a lot of this kind of problems that we're seeing today. And they decided to return back sort of like a visa way, like ETR. So ETR is like electronic travel something.
Right.
I don't know the exact words, but it's like authorization. Yeah. ETA. It's an authorization. So whatever they do is that they scan your pictures, they get your passport, so they have your details. So by the time you arrive in, I think I don't think they do a background check, but as of now, if General does any mistake, then he goes in the wrong books. When he'll apply for the next visa or a permission to come into the country, he will be denied.
Well, I think the government should hire more people to do background checks. They're overloaded.
No, at the moment they don't. At the moment they don't. That for sure I'll tell you, because people apply within seconds, within 1 hour, 2 hours, they got the visas, and it's all about just checking what it needs, the details that the government is requesting: a passport, a clear picture, and the time of staying in the country at that particular time. But I think now when you do the mistake, then you get into the wrong books with Kenya and you'll be denied an entry, a second entry.
Okay, the best case scenario for Jay Rello is that he's going to be barred from the country and nothing happens to him. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, that definitely, that is definitely something that can happen. He will be banned and he will just be left scot-free. And actually, Kufu's actually mentioned another case whereby somebody also was let free, but now they cannot come into the country.
Right.
So the mistake they did.
And hopefully the government is.
And also the Chinese. Oh, also the Chinese, because somebody said that we are just into the black people. Also the Chinese who did something, absurd, and a lot of Kenyans were offended. Just like now that General has done something and Kenyans are offended, and the Chinese was booked in on the second plane, and that Chinese will not be able to come. He lost the companies. I don't know, maybe he lost the money that he had made here in the country. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh, all right. Okay. So you know what? I just want to make it clear that every single passport bro or also any black American denounced this clown. They don't like him. They think it's something seriously wrong with him. I don't know if anybody likes him other than his actual donors. They're the only ones who like him. He's just like Johnny Somali. He has this small clique of donors that fund his travels so he can do all these kind of antics. And that's what the problem is. These donors that donate to that clown. That's the problem, and it's just gotten out of hand. So, I mean, hopefully something happens. Something happens where we're gonna put an end to this right now. Okay. Because
so we 6 minutes into this live to be 3 hours, so we should be winding up, and we can call it a day.
KLA, it's the 254. It's the 254 right now.
It's a 254 time.
254.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to do a live stream, and we're going to talk about the how people use the J. Rello's conduct to attack people who hadn't done a damn thing wrong. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. We're going to talk on my live stream. We're going to talk about Kung Fu and all sorts of people who do these sort of things, and how, if they cross the line, can we get them for slander, if they cross the line. So we're going to talk about that.
Sure.
Okay.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So
I'm glad you now we're in the same level of understanding at the moment.
Right. Yes. We all hate J. Rello. Yeah. We all hate him.
And that is actually we're trying to tell you from the word go, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, I know you guys hate him. I hate him. I probably hate him more than anybody.
All right.
And I never really wanted to see anything real bad happen to somebody. But since this guy was warned so many times to please stop it. We pleaded with this guy, stop it. He just kept on doing it because he didn't give a damn. He only cared about himself and making his money and being infamous in some kind of way. But I'll land my plane on that. Okay? Okay? All right.
You have no problem?
Huh?
I said no problem.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So if anybody have any questions of me, they're free to ask that question. Okay. All right. Okay.
Take it over.
Take care, people. All right.
Cheers.
I'm gonna start my live stream as soon as your live stream is over. All right.
So KLA.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this a long time ago? About
3 years ago.
It's gonna be a video someday, and this is the J Rello video. One quick thing before we talk about that prediction,
yeah,
or if we expand on it, that is that I knew about this guy for begging for money, and then when he got the money, to go home because he ran out of money, whatever it is. And then when he got the money, he didn't use it for the purposes of why he begged for that money. Right. So we just like Marwa. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's all other than being a sex tourist, that's all I knew about this guy, because I wasn't interested in him, because he's just another one of those dudes that go around doing bad stuff. However, I'm glad this came out. I didn't want it to happen, but I'm glad this came out, because now I know something, because other people have been saying he's been doing this in other countries, what he did to the Kenyan lady. So because I never investigated that part, I only investigated the part that he's begging for money and he didn't use the money to go home. He just took the money and just stayed at the Airbnb, wherever he was at. So I just knew him for being somebody who's not truthful to his own subscribers. And that people were making a clown of him because of that. But now that this is out, which obviously it's been out with some people for a while, now I know about it. So he's got a history of doing this. He's got a history of filming the prostitutes that he's with and then putting it online, whether they know about it or not, apparently, allegedly, right? So it's interesting that if you had the resources, meaning time, time, to actually, basically you need some type of income to sit there and want to do this and have the time to do it, not working 9 to 5, to know more about a lot more of these people that, okay, this situation happens, so I know about them because of that. But I don't have the time to find out anything else about them to know them as well as for doing this other thing and that thing and who knows what else.
Yeah, sure.
So how many other people that we know just one thing about, right? That are mainly YouTubers, YT YouTubers.
Yes.
That are doing this, because what I've noticed is that a lot of these guys, what they do is just so they can cover their tracks. And it's just like this one channel that was promoting sex tourism with the German guy that was just all text. What I've noticed with a lot of these YouTubers is that they're going around doing like legitimate type of vlogging. But I noticed one distinct difference is that they're always with that Passport Bro community. And they're giving information giving information on the side in their videos, telling you to your face, you won't know, but these other guys will know. When you come here, this is what you can do. This is how you can get a cheap Airbnb. This is where you can actually go to get the best Airbnb. This is where you can go to do this, to do that. This is all like code for if you are one of these people, this is where you need to come. And it just reminds me exactly like that German guy's channel, where he was explaining everything in great detail in these videos, but with text. And I think, now that I think more about it, I think YouTube probably took that down, that one guy's channel down, because he was being so detailed with the information of how to get around the law. And I find it really sticky, but there's always, like ways of doing this, and it's very obvious. All you have to do is hang around these guys on their channels. And these are the same, KLA, these are the same guys that I've mentioned before when I mentioned times even on my own live streams in the past where, here in the States, you have a lot of single families. And I was saying, you mothers with young boys, keep your young men away from these old heads, because if they ain't married and all this and that, and they're giving them advice about being with prostitutes, and that's going to be the best thing to do in their lives, they are influencers on the street.
And I don't think it's America only too. Even here in Kenya, we do actually protect the kids from, and not only the men, also even the girls. They've been protected from women who are not married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We believe that will continue. That problem will continue, will persist, and it will even become worse.
Can you still hear me right now? Because I'm.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. So you can come in as I continue explaining. So I don't think it's only America too. Also too in Africa, or more so my country, on Kenya. We actually do not allow advertisements going to kids, to people who are, fatherless or single, that matter. And just like us, to the young girls, we do the same too. So I believe that should be a standard everywhere. So thank you so much for the people who have come. Joe, Vav, I have a new person, that's Kona, aka Melissa. Thank you for coming in. I've been seeing your comments, but yeah, today's topic has been hot. I couldn't even handle it. I had to let it go on its own pilot. I don't know if Kofu is still here before we end the live. We'll be ending the live soon.
I'm still here.
Oh yeah, sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. For whatever. Okay, I see it now. Okay, I lost my controls, like mute mic and all that. I just scrolled up, and there they are. Okay.
No worries.
Yeah, and also another thing too, bro.
Sure.
We've been talking a lot behind the scenes for years, and the thing is, we have nothing but love for Kenya, like genuine love.
100%.
Where a lot of these other guys that are getting on YouTube, they have absolutely no love. What they do is they love the idea of going to a place, and Kenya is one of those places where it appears to be fun because of the club scene or what have you. They don't really care about the culture and the cultures of Kenya. They don't really care about the culture and the cultures of Namibia or Colombia or what have you. It's majority of these guys just don't care. They're just there.
They want the top hype of that country and go.
Right. There's another thing too. There's another type of YouTuber that I'm equally disgusted with, and they're not sex tourists, but they're the type of YouTuber that loves to go around to another country and just basically, like, instead of like doing fact checks, like data analysis and stuff like that, they'll go to a country and take one subject. Let's just take Kibera for a moment there in Kenya. and just dwell on the fact that it's the biggest or the second biggest slum in Africa, and dwell on why people there. We know why people there. They can't afford to live anywhere else. Most of them. We also know that there's a few Kenyans that live in a place like Kibera and they're rich, but they have their own reasons for staying there, right?
Yeah, because the business, actually people who live in the slum Kibera actually do a very successful business than those ones who are in the city doing business.
Right. But the thing is, you'll get these kind of YouTubers, these bloggers, whatever, and they'll just talk total trash about the place, not giving a damn that, again, these are human beings that live there. These are people
just like Rello. Just like Rello came into the country without fact checking, just because of a word of mouth from a fellow YouTuber. That this place is rocking, it's vibing, you're welcome, red carpet roll for you. I'm like, man, people need to be serious.
Now, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's from India, and he's a pretty successful travel vlogger. He went to Burundi a few years ago, and you probably remember the story.
Yeah, I think I can see that.
Yeah, he was talking about, and I thought he was an okay vlogger until he said this crap about Burundi, which wasn't true. He focused in on some article or something that Burundi is the saddest country in the world. And his thumbnail was a bunch of little kids looking very pathetic, like really unhappy and sad, dressed up in tatters. You know what I mean? Do you remember him doing that?
I think he was going to the farm at one particular time in the video.
Yeah, I think so. But the whole premises of his video was to actually downplay Burundi, saying it's one of the saddest countries on earth, and that's totally the opposite. Like, I know that fact. That's totally the opposite. It's like you might as well say, if you're going to say Burundi, and the people there are sadder than the people in Malawi, and then sadder than the people in Zambia, and then sadder than the people in Kenya. You have the same situations if you want to talk about poverty, because that's really what it was. That's really what he was concentrating on. If you want to talk about poverty, you're going to find it within extremes in all four of those countries I just mentioned.
True.
And what do you find in Kenya all the time? And you've grown up there, and I find it all the time when I go home there, is that no matter what the economic situation is with anybody there, I find the happiest people on the planet.
Oh yeah, and most definitely. People find the little things to make them happy.
Right. But whether they're well educated or not,
or whether they have money or not,
right? There's something about Africa that's totally different from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And you can't take that away. So this guy from India was trying to take that away from Burundians. And I know quite a few Burundians, and this just is not the truth. I actually used to have a roommate from Burundi. You know? So this guy has no idea what he's talking about, but he was just there basically to slander because of, I don't know if it was the European Union or United Nations, whatever. There's some report that he was going off of, and all he did was emphasize and capitalized on that lie. And those type of vloggers, I hate that with a passion. And these are the type of people that should be deported and never allowed back into the country where they came from, where they went to ever come back again. This same guy hooked up, like I said, with one of my friends in Uganda prior to going to Burundi. And it was a big embarrassment for that person. But it wasn't that person's fault because all the videos before that, even I couldn't find any videos with such content. But obviously this guy was like that, and he started making more videos like that after that. You know, so the sex tourist and vloggers like this guy, it's like YouTube's really got to do something. YouTube's doing a lot to like take people's channels down that don't need to be taken down for certain content, or just the reuse of other people's content in a fair use way. They're spending more time on that than they are on people that are doing stuff like this.
believe so.
And it makes me wonder why. I think it has to do with the numbers. I think it has to do with the amount of views and stuff like that. The more money, the more ad revenue that they get. I think it's just all about the money at this point with YouTube, because YouTube on its own, outside of Google, is $1 billion company. And so, yeah, YouTube is partially the problem of all this.
Yeah, there's been a lot of malfunction even on what you see on YouTube, and I don't know. It seems to be sometimes also the people will be on the wrong. They don't get prosecuted or don't get stopped to continue what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you people so much for coming in, tuning in. It's been a great life. We really enjoyed this 3 hours and 10 minutes. It's been a very long night here, listening and trying to understand the comments that you've been writing back. I really appreciate it. I really thank you for tuning in. I may also do a second video the next day on the same around the same time. So if you are around, you could come in and watch, give your contribution. You're open. We could share the link and discuss about all these things that we're discussing. We're still following up on Jedero at the moment. The story will be following up more. I was to touch about some particular parts, but I think I will end up doing it as a video and maybe post it later. Some key points where he mentioned some stuff, which are some of them are incriminating, and some of them are not conclusive. So I will just try and do a video about it, and we could discuss from also the video. Thank you so much for coming in. I don't know if Kufu is still around.
Yeah, I'm still here. So I just wanted to say thanks for having this live stream. Thanks for Real Deal coming up. Thanks for Carlos coming up, even though we're butting heads and stuff like that.
It happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
We can never be all along in line with people.
Right. Also, I see Tam Tam in the chat. Joe O, Verify, Miss Optimistic, Angela was there. Hello to everybody. And if anybody I missed, because I wasn't watching the chat most of the time, it's hard for me to multitask. But thanks everybody for coming in. I really appreciate seeing some people I haven't seen in a while. Because I've just been too busy.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, again, thanks Bo for having this. It needs to be addressed. That's continue to do what Kenyan does.
We'll continue.
Jay Rello. Yeah.
We will continue. Tomorrow we'll be having another live stream.
Okay, I might be there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for coming in too.
All right, bro. I'll stay on and backstage if you want.
Okay, sure. We'll end the video at 13. We'll go now, and we are out.